Iranian security forces during 11 days of unrest sparked by the death of a woman in police custody.
The number of those killed in the protests has been rising as the police have tried to disperse the crowds that have marched through cities and towns in every province. The figurehead of a young woman, Mahsa Amini, who died after being arrested for not wearing her headscarf in a way deemed appropriate by the authorities, has been supplemented by other young women and men who've been killed demanding greater rights. Protesters fear that a major crackdown could be mounted to silence them, as has happened with previous mass protest movements.
The BBC's Sebastian Usher. The European Union suspects that damage to two underwater natural gas pipelines was sabotage and is warning of retaliation for any attack on Europe's energy networks. Energy companies began to ramp up security. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. A California man who pleaded guilty to COVID-19 loan fraud has been sentenced.
Reddy Budamala of Irvine, California, has been sentenced to 4 years in federal prison, and a judge ordered him to pay $5,150,000 in restitution to the Small Business Administration. He was arrested in February trying to cross the border into Mexico and pled guilty in June to bank fraud and money laundering. Prosecutors say he submitted 7 false applications for pandemic relief loans for 3 shell companies with no operations, claiming to need the money for payroll for non-existent employees and business expenses at bogus addresses. Budamala is to be deported to India when he finishes his sentence. I'm Jennifer King.
And recapping the hour's lead story, the National Hurricane Center says Ian has rapidly strengthened off Florida's coast, gaining top winds of 155 miles per hour. That is just shy of the most devastating Category 5 hurricane status. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the middle of the week.
Real lemon on a pear kind of day. Halfway there.
Yep. But one thing's a constant this week, the weather. It's just the same every day.
Yeah.
Sunny and mid-80s,
It's
high
average.
80s. Yeah, it's not bad.
I experimented yesterday. I see you're experimenting today.
I did go long sleeve tee today.
I don't think we're there quite yet.
I am in the morning. Like
In the morning,
it's nice right now.
You know what?
I'm going to regret this decision
Honestly,
later.
neither one of us are doing the proper New Mexico thing.
Yeah.
Which is, we've learned this for years and years, which is dress in layers.
Sure.
But that being said, we're not going on a 13-hour hike. We
No.
live, 10 minutes away, or we work 10 minutes away from where we live. So
Exactly.
worst case scenario, we can opt out for a different wardrobe halfway through the day.
I'll go shirtless. I'll just walk around shirtless.
I used to have, when I was living in Albuquerque, I had a roommate, it was my buddy, Brian, and he insisted on walking around the house shirtless. He's like, yeah, dude, I mean, you should try. I'm like, first of all, no, because no. Secondly, one shirtless dude walking around the house is fine. 2 shirtless dudes walking around the house, there's something wrong with that situation, especially if you're just sitting on the couch watching, like, TV.
Shirtless.
Yeah, just both of you shirtless. There's something weird about that scenario.
Yeah, but less laundry.
That's true. I don't do much without a shirt on. I swim with a shirt on. That's just how I am.
He's in the shower with a shirt on.
I do this for you people. I don't want anybody to yeah. Nobody should have to see this.
I don't want
a lot
to,
of ache and heartbreak underneath this shirt.
Mine's earned. But anyway.
Oh, no, so is mine.
Well, happy Wednesday.
Yes, welcome to it.
Wear a shirt today.
On that, yeah, please, dress in layers.
Yes. Speaking of clothing, I'm happy to report for all you football fans out there, when you go to root on your Dallas Cowboys this weekend, and they host the Washington Commanders, they will be beating the Commanders in their brand new black uniforms.
Wow.
They're going to debut those.
It is nice that the Commanders, what, 4 weeks in, I think this is?
This will be week 4.
Yeah,
yes.
week 4. They're dressing for morning already.
Yes.
Which is nice. They've seen the writing on the wall. They realize this is fine.
Yeah, so they've only wore their whites. The first 3 games of the season, they wore the white unis each 3 games. They have the burgundy one, which they haven't. I don't even think they wore it during preseason. Maybe they wore it once during preseason. I'm not sure, but they have a third uniform which is black and gold with hints of burgundy and of Ron Burgundy, but
little bits of it. Him.
Smells of mahogany. But anyway, and so they're going to debut it against Dallas, in Dallas, I guess. So they're going to. So if you're wondering, I didn't know the Dallas playing the Steelers this weekend.
Yeah.
No, they're playing Washington.
It's
they're
like
wearing their
that
black unis.
It's like that one odd uniform that the Seahawks have. They've picked just the color of the inside of the eye of the hawk.
That light.
That's like
alien green,
neon green. Yeah, and they made their whole uniform that color. It's like, yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, and I did not like that.
Some people love that.
Yeah, my friend's a Seahawks fan, and she loves that uniform.
Yeah, some people love that look. I'm not into those neon colors.
Right.
Like in the 80s when everyone wore the neon orange and yellow and that green and
safety
all that.
green, right?
Yeah, I never like those colors. I don't like wearing them. I don't like the look of them.
I don't for the most part. I have a soft spot for safety green just because of the original mixed t-shirts.
The mixed days, I hated those shirts.
I know you did. But remember, it was me with that bright yellow hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, I'll wear the purple one. It's not nearly as annoying.
That was the Foo Fighters concert. It was bright shock yellow hair and a shock green t-shirt. I was getting seen.
And he was Sean Large back then too.
Yeah,
It wasn't Sean Skinny.
That's true. I was very large and or in charge.
It's a lot of green. But I've never been a fan of that. So when Washington loses this Sunday to Dallas, and Dallas like, I don't know. I saw Washington this weekend. If they play like they did Sunday, they're not winning another game. They're just.
Somebody should let the Commanders know that the morning season for the Queen is over. They don't have to dress in black anymore.
Maybe it's for Dan Snyder.
I do like the fact they waited until after the Queen's morning period to don the black.
And to be honest, the black uniforms are a bit polarizing for fans. You have a faction that loves them. I'm in it. I like a different look every once in a while. It's kind of nice.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's something different. It's cool. It's a thing. I like it. But then you've got people like, no, they got 2 colors and it's burgundy and gold. You put black in there. And I'm like, well, there is nothing about this team that's the same from the old team. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing about this team. That the Washington Redskins history and era and the greatness that was achieved is gone. The team they're sitting there now is a shell of any of that tradition, history, and all that franchise has is the history of the Washington Redskins. The rest of it is garbage, and it's just so until Dan Snyder's gone, until they put people running that place that are actually not creepos like Dan Snyder, then it'll be bad.
Is it just all Dan Snyders in general, just creeps?
I only know one.
No. Well, technically he's Dan Schneider, but yeah, the guy from Nickelodeon.
Oh.
Well, the guy technically from Head of the Class, but
yes.
Yeah.
There's
that Schneider.
Okay.
Yeah. Not Schneider from
One Day at a Time.
But
I don't have that Schneider. Is he still with us?
Probably.
I don't even know his name. I don't even know anything else other than One Day at a Time that Schneider's ever done. Like, I don't remember, that's Schneider from One Day at a Time here with Meredith Baxter.
Whatever
Birney.
happened to Schneider from one day at a time.
According to Wikipedia, Death.
Death.
Who had Alzheimer's disease, fell in early November 2015. He suffered a small brain hemorrhage and spent 3 weeks in a hospital and nursing home. Harrington's children announced his death on January 6, 2016, aged 86.
By the way, I put the speaker on this thing.
Oh, yeah, your new Galaxy phone sounds crystal clear.
That's right.
Wow. So I apologize. Yeah. I did not know he's no longer with us.
That's a heck of a way for Google to answer. Whatever happened to, according to Wikipedia, death. All right. Death happened.
Today's going to be sunny at 78. Okay.
Thanks, Google Voice.
Oh, man. So, well, sad news there. We lost Schneider back in 2016. So I'm sorry to hear that.
He was taking it one day at a time. Should have looked at the big picture.
I wonder if he got to keep the uniform.
Probably.
Like in a trunk somewhere, does his family have the Schneider overalls?
You hear about, actors taking like parts or costumes off the set or whatever. Just
considering
wandering off. Like
that's the only thing he's known for.
Zach Braff has mentioned over the course of the podcast I've been listening to, he owns so many pairs of scrubs.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he ever wear them?
Just for fun. For funsies.
They still fit?
Yeah, believe it or not.
That's the thing. Is, I was on skinnier back when Scrubs was on. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you. Here in just a little bit, City Development Director Kevin Maver is going to join us. And, of course, they have their development meeting yesterday. So he always comes in the morning after and gives us the skinny on what took place at the development meeting. And, of course, gives us a little inside scoop on new things coming to the area. So it's always nice to listen to that.
A lot of development.
Yeah. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to talk Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Kim Dusendorf scheduled to join us, give us an update what's happening out at the Big Brothers, Big Sisters world. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we'll talk American Legion Post 61 business. We'll have Jen and Lee join us from the American Legion Post 61 family, give us an update, talk Veterans Parade, and just talk about some of the different events and things they've participated in over the last month or so. So that's what we got on tap. And, of course, we'll have all of your regular features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Town Hall Wall Street business updates, Commando updates, Hannity updates, and whatever else we conjure up for today's show.
Indeed.
Yeah. Before we do any of that, let's take a look at that boring old, just set your watch by it, train schedule, average weather.
Same old.
Oh, no. Oh, there is an exclamation point. I'm sorry. It is the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warm and fair for the next few days with high pressure parked over the central Rockies, and that's also covering our area. Sunshine and upper 80s for the afternoon high today and a little bit breezy. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then tomorrow looks about the same with mid to upper 80s on the high and sunny, mid-80s and sunny on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are, in fact, calm at the moment. More of that boring, just nice weather. No crazy winds or crazy pop-up storms. Just sunny, 87 today. South winds 5 to 10. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 56. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, more like this. Sunny, high of 86. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 in the morning. In the afternoon, might pick up 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 56. Friday, more boring. Mostly sunny, high of 86. South winds 5 to 15. And another weekend of just boring weather. Sunny skies, 86 degrees on Saturday. And for Sunday, sunny skies, looking at a high of 85. And then looks like the boring, just nice weather continues into next week. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be sunny mid-80s as well. So if you like it, this is your thing. But if you're like, man, when's it going to snow? You're going to have to wait or rain or do anything other than be sunny and nice. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break. Then Kevin Mavers will join us on the other side talking city development. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
I'm Mitch Krukowskis, Vice President of Strata Production Company, a local oil and gas business in Roswell. We must have representatives like Greg Nybert who know the economic drivers of this community and New Mexico. Greg has pushed back on efforts by liberal Democrats who are against oil and gas. With over 39 years' experience, Greg Nybert knows the jobs local oil and gas companies create, the opportunities we provide, and the prosperity we bring to our communities. Oil and gas accounts for over 40% of the state budget and has allowed our state to provide raises to educators and state police, and the rebate checks you received. Please vote for Greg Nybert for State Representative, District 59, to keep a strong conservative voice in our legislature.
I'm Greg Nybert, and I ask you to please vote for me for House District 59. Voting begins on October 11th, and Election Day is November 8th.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative. Richard Taylor, Treasurer. The Goddard Rockets are soaring through the season, and coming up this Friday night, your Rockets are back on the road, taking on the Eagles of Belen High. Fiera 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com will have every second of the action. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Eagles of Belen High. Friday beginning at 6:45 on Fiera 106.1 FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, City of Roswell Development Director Kevin Mavers back with us this morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
How's life treating you?
Well, if I base it on the absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, boring weather we're having right now, life is treating me quite well.
Yeah, Kevin and I were talking. He's like, "You don't broadcast to Florida, do you?" And I'm like, "No. We're, unless they hit on the internet, they would disagree with our statement right now."
You would be sounding a little insensitive to the situation in Florida at the moment. Yes.
I think I would, but that's all right. When it's 800 degrees and no humidity here, they're in a tropical Florida, so there's a trade-off.
There always is.
So you take the good with the bad sometimes, and now they're dealing with the bad right now. But.
Well, I know the just speaking of the weather, I personally am just absolutely enjoying what's happening right now.
It is nice.
It is absolutely gorgeous. It looks like it's going to stay this way for the next little while.
And personally, I always think New Mexico, southeast New Mexico, this time of year is the absolute best weather in all of. I mean, spring you'll get a little bit, but you don't get much of it. It seems spring kind of misses here. It goes right from cold to 100 like that. So we don't get much of a spring, but we do kind of we really do get a fall, right? Where we do get a gradual 80s here in this time, and then about October we're going to be, oh man, maybe need some light coats here and all that. And so we actually do get a fall kind of here. So you're right. I my opinion, I think this is kind of weather-wise is the best time of year for this part of the world.
Well, for myself and my wife, the biggest adjustment we're having to make is winter. Okay?
Yeah. Because you actually kind of get one now. Well, depending on what part of California you're from.
Well, I was from the southern deserts.
So, yeah, you didn't see much winter there.
We were lucky if it got below 50 degrees at night in January.
Yeah.
So I remember I was being asked to go to the East Coast one time on right before Christmas. And the gentleman that I was talking to, I was kind of hemming and hawing about what to do. And he was going, I'm sensing a reluctance to travel. And I said, no, what you're sensing is the fact that I don't even own a coat, and you're asking me to go to Washington, D.C. in December.
Right. Like, I barely got a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, barely.
That's for that one night it gets down to like 50.
Yeah, I had to buy a few of those when I moved here. Long sleeve shirts anyway. So, but even last night, turning off the air conditioner and just letting the cool air into the house before we went to bed last night, and just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity, with things being just a little bit slower around the office the last couple of days, I've had the opportunity, which I don't get very often, to actually take a lunch break. Okay, so I take my lunch break when I can take it, and...
So did you go do a downtown walk around and enjoy the weather?
I did not. I actually went to Cahoon Park and sat under a tree.
Oh, nice. So you absorbed outdoor in one location there.
Yeah, my wife graciously made a couple of sandwiches for me, and so I sat over there, windows rolled down on my truck underneath the tree.
Nice.
Radio turned off, everything, and just enjoying my hour to myself.
Yeah, it's a nice park. It's a lot of trees, a lot of grass. It's a good place to It's a good, if you're wanting to not feel like you're in the desert for a bit, go to Cahoon Park. It's kind of like going to East Coast or some other place.
It is a bit of an oasis right there, and it's just one of the many wonderful things I think that's underutilized here in our city. For me personally, I love its location because let's say something crazy does happen at City Hall and I need to be back. I can be back in 5 minutes.
It's short trip.
Very short return. But for that time that you're there and you just roll down the windows, turn off the car, sit outside and just enjoy this weather. It's amazing. Really
it's one of from the history of this community and everything, you know some of this, but back when the pool was still there, when the Cahoon, I think it was a more popular park back then, but when the pool, because it just got old and they had to get the new one there, people don't utilize that park as much as they should. I don't think, I know they're putting the pavilion, and so there's steps to do that, but it's kind of a transition park right now. I think for so many years, it's been the place where people go to the pool, and they even used to do some Cinco de Mayos and those celebrations out there. So I think it's kind of looking for its new niche, its new thing for people to go there and do. And I hope it's to go out there. I see a lot of people doing birthday parties and get their little jolly jumpers and stuff on the weekend.
Yeah,
it's a great park for that kind of stuff.
I went to a car show there not long ago.
Yeah, it's a great park for that kind of stuff.
So it's a again, I think it's an underutilized resource here in the city.
I think it's just a beautiful place.
Yeah, but. Unfortunately, nationwide, we're seeing a decline in park usage. People are staying indoors more. People are enjoying, electronic sports and games.
You'd think right now, with coming out of COVID, people would be more inclined to get out of the house for a little bit.
You would think.
Yeah,
but there's also a group of people that go, you know what?
It wasn't bad in here.
I'm okay.
Got everything I need right here.
So it's.
I go out there, people are crazy. I'm good.
I guess the point of this whole silly little discussion is, if you haven't been to our local parks recently, get out.
Absolutely. And one thing I love about Cahoon Park is the history there too, because those stone walls that's all history right there. That was POW work and things. So as beautiful and as nice as it is out there, it's also very much part of the fabric of this community, and that's what I love about it. I love that tie to the history of it to the community.
Well, speaking of another underutilized resource, our historical society.
Yes.
Okay. I am amazed at how few people utilize that resource.
Yeah.
I see more people that are coming from out of the area go over there and look through the books, look through the archives, look through the tour the actual structure, the historic structure, and learn about our background. Then I see locals going over there.
Locals.
They almost take it for granted that it's a piece of the background. It's there if we need it, but
and I think that's a universal problem local, because I grew up in D.C. and believe it or not, they have the same problem. You go to D.C. and, you get people from all over the world coming to see the sites, but there are a lot of people that are native to the area. It's like, nah, I've never been to the Washington Monument. No, I've never, been to the Air and Space Museum. And I'm like, how have you been here your whole life and never gone to these places? And so I think that's unique to everybody. We never, you can't smell the forest from the trees or whatever, whatever
Could be.
See the forest from the trees kind of thing, where if you're in amongst it, you don't realize what you got until you're outside looking in. And,
speaking of Washington, D.C., I just made reference to it. I did go on that trip, okay, and it almost didn't make it home for Christmas because got caught in a snowstorm. Have no idea.
They don't know how to do. They get snow. They don't know how to deal with it in DC area. They're the worst.
I got caught in one of those scenarios, but I remember taking it for granted. I was based out of Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay,
and I was doing a lot of work at that time for the Department of Defense. So I was going back and forth between Fredericksburg and Washington D.C. and I was going to be in the area for like a month. And I remember arriving and I'm going to work and I'm thinking, I'll take a weekend and I'll do this and I'll do that. And then one weekend passes and I'm still busy. And then the second weekend passes and I'm still busy. And the third weekend passes. And it's like, I'm not going to see anything except the inside of the Pentagon and the inside of the office in Fredericksburg and my hotel room.
And that's the thing, Fredericksburg's south. So if you want to get into D.C. proper, depending on the time of day you get in, it might be a little tricky if you're going through traffic and stuff, because anything or inside the Beltway and just outside the Beltway, you think rush hour is bad here. That's one of the worst in the country right there. It rivals L.A. As far as bad drivers and that kind of stuff. But
so I think we all have stories, regardless of what big city we've lived in or near. We all have our stories about people that should have never been given a driver's license.
Exactly. So I can see how you're right there and you still miss it.
Yeah,
but,
you do. You just get busy. Life gets in the way. We take it for granted that it'll always be there. I can't do it this weekend. I'll get to it next weekend.
Well, and that's that area. And I recommend every American plans a trip to that area at some point and see it because it's really cool. I mean, I live there and I grew up, and so I know. But I even. I haven't lived there in 30 plus years, but I still think, and I don't want to, but I'm very thankful I got to see and experience and see all these things, that the great history that is there, because I mean, you don't even have to be in DC proper and hit it. You can go, like you're in Fredericksburg, you could have gone over to Mount Vernon and seen George Washington's home, or you could have, there in Virginia, you can throw a rock and hit a presidential mansion. I mean, Woodrow Wilson's place is out there. I mean, literally, they've got a whole bunch of presidents that Virginia was home, so they've got these estates and mansions out there that are now open to the public to tour and things like that. So go up to Pennsylvania, there's Eisenhower's thing there in Gettysburg. It's just it's so much. You throw a rock and there's something historical you're hitting. It's just how it is there. So, anyway,
well, should we shift gears? And talk about last night?
to our
end of the world.
Here,
there we go. Okay.
But for folks that aren't familiar, Kevin joins us here the day after the city development meeting, and that always meets here on the
Planning and Zoning Commission.
Planning and Zoning
Commission, and they always meet. They always meet on the fourth Tuesday of every month,
which was
at the convention center, which was yesterday. And I realize this is the fifth Wednesday, but that's just the way the calendar fell this month.
The first was on a Wednesday.
The first happened to be on a Wednesday. It's the calendar gives us 5 weekends this month, so we've got a little bit of a shift.
Yeah.
But we had a wonderful meeting last night, and for those of you that aren't aware, the Planning and Zoning Commission, of course, is charged with land use decisions here in the city of Roswell.
Gotcha.
Okay. Any kind of subdivision, any kind of conditional use permit, any kind of special use permit,
okay,
zone changes, variances, things like that, they all go through our city's Planning and Zoning Commission. Meredith Hildreth is our Planning and Zoning Administrator. She's in charge of the meetings.
Okay.
She's also our senior planner on staff. So a lot of the things that you see last night was really it was Meredith's opportunity to shine. We've had a lot of cases here where we haven't had the opportunity to showcase the staff that we have and give them an opportunity to make presentations, to show the work that they're doing. So last night, Meredith had 2 cases to present, and both of them were approved by our Planning and Zoning Commission. The first case was a zone change on about 5 acres of property north of Tierra Berenda and east of North Main up there. Okay, kind of behind. There's a real irregular shaped piece of property on the east side of Main Street, north of Tierra Berenda.
Okay,
and it doesn't lend itself well to a traditional subdivision or a residential area and things. So the property owner wanted to do was to carve out a section of it that didn't fit well with his plans for development and say, look, we're going to set this site as community commercial.
Okay.
Great idea, because if you listen to our finance committee, if you listen to our city council, if you take a look at how the city is funded, how we take care of the roads and the streets and the sewers and all the other things, the vast majority of that money comes from our GRT. Our
gross receipts tax.
The gross receipts tax, our portion of it. We don't get all of it.
Right.
Most of it goes to our friends up north. But
they give us a taste.
They do give us a taste back, all right? But that taste is very, very important.
Right, yeah.
So what we're trying to do as we move forward with the city is we're looking at what's called we call it a jobs housing balance. What it really is a retail and housing balance, or a commercial and housing balance, because for all of those new residents that are going to move into that area, you don't want them to have to drive clear across town to do their basic services, to buy groceries, to go to the pharmacy, to do all the things that
you
they
want something
need to
you
do.
Go up the street real quick and grab a gallon of milk or whatever.
So you'll see, what we're going to see is a proliferation, I believe, over the next few years of these small community commercial, small neighborhood commercial type areas that will allow people the opportunity to walk to the store, to get out, just get a little of exercise, but also not have to get in their car, not have to go across town, not increase traffic and other things.
So on those days you get that bad weather and you can't get the car out of the driveway, you can just walk on over and get your bread, milk, and toilet paper.
Provided you have an umbrella and a raincoat.
That's right.
I need to add that to my list of things I need to buy before winter gets here.
I bought an umbrella once and then I lose it. I use it one time and then lose it. Then I have to get one like a year later.
Anyway, that one was passed with a 7-0 vote. Okay, so we can be looking forward to the next phase of that. The developer will bring in a subdivision map, and the remainder of the property will be divided up into, again, because it's really irregular, but it borders Berendo Creek on the north. You're going to see some very large, most likely some very large estate lots.
Okay.
So some upper end lots. Transitioning down to more affordable type lots and, not truly upscale, but just mid-priced homes, mid-priced homes. That'll be probably the next phase for that particular project, and we're looking forward to working on that. Second project last night was another one of our friends in the cannabis industry.
Okay.
An organization, they're called Dreams Dispensary.
Okay.
Dreams Dispensary. And they're going into Cass Plaza, which is, if you know
that one,
that's the one where the new Firehouse Subs is going.
Okay, right on Main Street there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you've ever wondered whether or not we have the business activity to support some of the new construction that's going on, look at how quickly Cass Plaza is filled up. There was only 5 stores. 4 of them are already filled.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm hearing they're having construction delays due to
they had some construction delays,
the COVID world, but other than that, everything seems to be going well over there.
Everybody's having construction delays. In fact,
because I've been doing when's that firehouse going to open? But I'm hearing delays on getting materials and things.
But that is that's been part of the delay with us moving into our new development services center as well.
Getting the materials needed to finish the job.
Materials, manpower, equipment. thankfully, with that, so I'm going to transition to what the meeting we had on Tuesday a week ago. For those of you that did not tune in to the first ever Community Development Forum.
Yes.
I believe that's what it was called. Myself, I was there. The forum was moderated by a Deputy City Manager, Mike Matthews.
Okay.
And I was there representing community development as a whole. But we also had Toby Franco, who is our code enforcement supervisor.
Okay.
And we also had Todd Versiglio,
Okay.
who runs our real estate division.
You can say the Hobbit. Most people know him as the Hobbit. So I don't know if that's on his name tag, but that's how most people know him.
Yeah, I believe it's on his business card. Yes, and Mr. Versiglio is quite popular. I believe he's almost a bit of the folklore of here in the city.
But I was just in case people, who's this Versiglio? The Hobbit. Oh, I know that guy.
Well, when you got your own burger at one of the local restaurants here in town, named after you, and it includes, I don't know.
It's got flaming hot
Cheetos on it. Yeah, okay.
That's the new gourmet.
Okay. Note to self: do not go out to lunch with Todd Versiglio.
Or you pick the lunch. You pick the menu.
Pick the location. Exactly. Anyway, it was a 1 hour long forum. We took we put a poll out, took some questions in advance, so that people had a chance to think about what they wanted us to discuss, and so that we could come prepared with some appropriate answers. And the questions, there was a lot of questions directed towards our code enforcement team and how they handle things like dilapidated structures.
Okay.
What is the process with a dilapidated structure?
Sure.
And there was a lot of people, I think, that were surprised to find out how deliberate and time-consuming the process is.
Yeah.
You cannot just drive down the street, see, that house isn't maintained properly.
Yeah.
Go slap a red tag on it, and then the next day.
That's why I always tell people, like at city council meetings, and you see when they have one of those condemnation hearings or something like that, I always want to remind people, if you're looking, it's like, wow, why is the city doing this? It's like, you don't understand. You're seeing step 1,000 in this step process. The people that they've been trying to work with them for probably a year plus, trying to get this resolved, and you're now seeing the point of where the breakdowns and nothing was getting resolved. So now we're at the point where we're putting the red sticker up and tearing everything down. There is so much stuff that happens before you get to that point.
Yeah, the actual physical removal of a structure it still isn't the end of it. People don't realize they don't lose their property when we remove a structure because it's essentially uninhabitable. When something is condemned, it's got to reach a level where it is dangerous, dilapidated, uninhabitable.
I think a collapse on somebody,
and in many cases is contributing to our homeless problems.
It's a health and safety issue.
It is. It really is a health and safety issue. So we turn around and we do the best we can. I can tell you, we have had people that we have been working with for not just 1 year, but 2 years. And we walk them through the process. If they are making progress, if they've come and they pulled their permits, if it takes them a year or two to rehabilitate the property, that's fine. But what we're looking for is that progress towards
an effort.
Make sure, and the first step is always, if the property is open and accessible, board it up. Board it up, okay? I know it looks ugly, but at least it's secure.
Sure.
And it's probably not going to, become a
crack house
a home for nefarious activities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time talking about that. We talked a little bit about the business license process. People wanted to know, and that's a favorite of mine because I am come from a very entrepreneurial family. We have started a lot of our own businesses. We have run a lot of our own businesses. My wife is a small business person, offering her services to all the residents of the city of Roswell. If you'd like more information, give me a call.
That's right. Ding. Where's my bell?
Better be careful. I'm going to get charged the commercial rate here in a minute.
Don't let my salespeople hear you. They'll be like, Kevin, you owe me $10.50.
But the point is the process. If somebody takes the time to walk you through it and say and ask you, okay, what is the determine the form of your business. Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it an LLC? And walk you through the process at the state level to work through the Secretary of State. And then you need to get your federal tax ID number. Once you have those two things, then you go back to the state and you get your GRT number through that. Once you've got those three things, okay, now you come see us at City Hall. And we will walk you through the business registration process and make sure that you're doing things legal, proper, above board.
Sure.
Because there's so many people, I think, that are just afraid to walk into City Hall. This seems to be a battle I've been fighting since I got here. I don't want to go to City Hall. I haven't been doing things right. We're here to help you do things right.
Right. That's the point. We're not here to. We're trying to get it fixed.
We're trying to exactly.
Yeah.
Because we want you to have a successful business. We don't want you to become subject. If you're not registered properly and you don't have all those wonderful numbers that the states and the feds want, you don't need to be worried about the city of Roswell.
Yeah, the state will let you know.
The state will let you know. The feds will let you know.
They're not as polite about it either.
Yeah, so. No, they are quite very unpolite.
Matter of fact, they just take it. One day you're like, "Where's all my money in my bank account?" They took it.
So if you are, and I've gotten reports, and I'm if we have a moment to talk about this a little bit more, I've gotten a couple of reports recently from people that have been at I want to call them a mini mall or a building where you have lots of different vendors.
Okay, like a swap meet or like
kind of things like that.
Yeah, like a market or whatever.
And a market. Okay, even if you're indoors inside one of those and you have a vendor space, you still need to have a City of Roswell business registration or business license. Okay, and it needs to be displayed on your booth.
Okay.
So I'm going to be making some rounds. I'm going to be talking to people and encouraging those
helping them through the process.
Helping them
getting them
come and see us, come through the process. I'm less concerned about what you have been doing.
Let's get you right now. Yeah.
Let's correct it.
Yeah.
And let's move forward together as a community, as a city.
Absolutely.
So that we can all prosper from the things that you're doing, and we can legitimately refer people to you. We can legitimately say it.
Well, when you have the vendor's license and everything, it's back to that gross receipts thing we're talking about there.
It does.
It's because the more money that's reported being spent here, the more money that comes back to fix things around here. So so we want to make sure that's done properly. So and this is that debate where people, it's like, well, when we talk about public assets, parks, things like that, that's the responsibility of all of us to take care of, maintain, and fund and support. And I get it. You're like, oh, what's all this stupid paperwork about and all that? But it's to ensure that we all pay our fair share into things, and we're all doing our part for the community. And I know you want to avoid taxes and things like this and all that, but there's a legal way to do that and a not legal way to do that. Don't do it the not legal way.
Exactly.
Talk to your tax advisors on the legal ways to protect you on some of those things.
Right. And that is, it is still my belief that the best way to I don't want to say avoid paying taxes, because that's not the term I want to use, but there are so many legitimate deductible business expenses that you have. And if you're doing business from your home, okay, and you have a business license permit or a home business permit, you can deduct a portion of your home for your home office or the place where you do the business. I think it's up to like 25% of your home can be deducted for business purposes. Now, check with your tax advisor on that. I'm not a tax advisor.
Any legal or sage advice we give you on the radio, please consult an expert.
But I've helped a couple of people recently, and they showed up in my office and asked about a home occupation permit or a home business registration. And I asked them, what do you want to do and how do you want to do it? And they showed me. I sat right there with them personally, filled out the forms, and then sent them over to the business license clerk with my signature on it and said, go pay your $35. You're good.
Nice.
Go start your business, please. I wish you nothing but success.
And that's at the end of the day what everyone wants. We want everyone to succeed. We just let's help get it all done. So like I said, if you see Kevin, he comes through and he's like, hey, let him help you get you in compliance. And trust me, now you don't have to worry. You don't worry about, they're going to come after me. You know, you were talking earlier about people get nervous walking into City Hall. You want to do that anymore.
And that I think was the one thing that I spent the most time on last Tuesday, a week ago Tuesday, at the forum, was reminding people that we are, the sole purpose of the new Development Services Center is to dramatically increase the levels of customer service. We want to be there for you. We want you to be able to walk through our door. We want you to be able to get answers to your questions. If those questions can't be answered by our staff, we'll make sure you get in contact with the right person. If you come in and have questions about a business license form or a community development application or code enforcement or anything else, we're going to have one customer service window for each of our divisions.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, right now you walk into our departments and we've got 2. That's all we've got, and we're spread out over a between a couple of different buildings. Now we'll all be in one place.
Logistically, it'll all flow smoother. So if you're a builder or a developer, you walk through the door. Hey, I need to speak to planning and zoning to make sure that so that I can get a placement permit, or I can get a fence permit, or I can get a permit for a garage or a carport or something like that. Oh, but I've got then I need a building permit. I need to get the permit for the building. I need to talk to our building and inspections people about all of that. Okay. Oh, but you know what? The house right next door, they got 3-foot-tall weeds. Can I talk to code enforcement? It truly is going to be a one-stop shop. Your checklist of things.
And while I'm at it, I need that home business person. Right. So, check with the business license. Okay.
It's going to start looking like those Progressive commercials. Originally, we had the shopping cart, and they're putting the boxes of insurance in there and all that. They've morphed to other stuff, but that's kind of what it's going to be like.
It really is. That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we should have the shopping cart. You just pull out the thing. People I need to talk to. Okay, put it in your cart. Go to the counter.
That's right. I got a code enforcement and.
Right. But we don't want anyone walking away either without their questions answered to their satisfaction.
Sure.
Now, let me rephrase. By their satisfaction, sometimes we do have to tell people no.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that, but sometimes we're up against state law in particular, especially where, let's say, building permits. We follow the building permits exactly as the state lays them out. We adopt the state code, bring it on down, adopt it. It becomes our code. So if you come in with something that's a little bit of an issue with your building, we really have no choice. It's got to be done to the standards.
Sure, that's not flexible.
Yeah. The other issue sometimes is fire code. Fire code.
And it sounds like these are areas where you get into health and safety. And any time when you cross into those areas, there isn't compromise when it comes to health and safety.
There shouldn't be any compromise.
Exactly.
There shouldn't be any compromise. We have people that depend on us doing our job. Our fire marshal is one of our most underappreciated people in this town. He goes out every single day and looks at structures and looks at things, provides advice and information. And people,
I know people are always like, why you got to go in here? But trust me, that person's saving lives every day doing that, because if there's not someone checking in on this stuff and this stuff goes unchecked, all it takes is one fire, one tragedy to explode into something major because people didn't do simple fire code things, and one building turns into a whole city block that gets burnt down or worse because of these kind of things. So please understand, it's not a power trip thing. It's their job to make sure that the community's is safety is as great as possible, and this is what they've got to do to ensure that. Okay. So just think from that perspective, not like, oh, fire marshal's here to shut me down. You know what I mean?
The last thing we talked about at that forum, though, and Mike Matthews did a terrific job at reminding people how lucky we are here in this town. We have, and I'm going to go back and praise our building department one more time. We have one of the few certified building officials in all of Southeast New Mexico. Okay? The county doesn't have a CBO.
Yeah,
there's a lot of the small towns and everything. They don't have a CBO. We have our very own certified building official. This is a state license that gives him authority to do tremendous things, and it really, really, really helpful. We have state licensed plumbing inspectors, mechanical inspector, electrical inspector. We have a full service building department. We can do everything, and most other communities in this part of the state cannot.
That's great.
But we can take care of you. So when you call, if you're in one of our southern communities further to south, or even out in the county, possibly, you call for a inspection. You may wait several days before that inspector shows up. It may be a week before that inspector shows up because they have to come in from out of the area, especially if it's a specialty inspection like mechanical, plumbing.
So I'm kind of curious, are some of our city guys getting called to do work outside the city and the county because of their special skill sets?
Yes. The answer to that is yes, and we actually do have an agreement to help support some of those cities.
Good.
Okay.
So.
Right now, though, we are so busy, and we don't want to.
They got enough in-house work to work on.
Well, yeah, we've got enough in-house work, and we certainly don't want to reduce our response time. When you call for a building inspection right now, typically it's a next day kind of thing, if not later that afternoon, if our guys have time.
That's great.
Okay, so it's just another advantage that Roswell has in the overall marketplace that we hope to get the word out that look what we can do for you. Mr. Business person.
And it also makes it a little easier for the development side when some of these companies move into towns. Like, yeah, we got all the inspectors you need right here ready. Those won't be a delay in your building process. So that's good. We just saw the time. We officially are running low on it. So
it always goes so fast.
It does, doesn't it? It just does. But it is good to see that we got some good stuff going on here. For folks that, where you're losing delays in waiting on materials, at least the people that can certify and all that there's no delay there. That's a great thing. So even if you're on back order for your tile, at least we can get you cleared to say, yes, you're greenlit to put that tile down.
There you go.
Yeah. Good deal. Give out for the number if I guess your area, if someone has any questions regarding anything we talked about, what's probably the best number to call? It's just the main number at City Hall.
Yeah, just call the main City Hall number and ask for whatever department or division you need.
Okay, so if you need inspectors, or
if you need the building inspections department, or better yet, go to the website.
Yes.
Go to the community development webpage. There's links to every department, every division that's on there. And you can find out not only who's in charge, but you can get the email address, you can get a direct phone number. It's all right there at your fingertips.
Yeah, Roswell-nm.gov.
There you go.
And like I said, yeah, even if you want to pay your water bill, all that's right there. You don't have to get dressed to pay your water bill. So I know some people like to come down and pay it there, but you don't have to. You could do it right there in your underwear or whatever you normally wear when you're by yourself at home.
I wouldn't know about that. My wife pays the water bill, so, but I'm assuming that's how she does it.
In her underwear. That's how everybody does it. Speaking of your wife, real quick, tell her your business. What's her business?
Oh, sure. Her business is she is a avid gardener, but she was a former teacher. Okay. So she learned about all kinds of wonderful things and how to teach. She transitioned from that she went back to school and got an MBA in sustainable development. Okay. And then also went through the UC Riverside Master Gardener program.
Oh, cool.
So she is very much on the forefront of what do we call it? Conservation management, resource management. Okay. Lush and efficient landscaping.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, she'll write a grant here and there and do a few other things.
Nice.
She's quite an asset, and I'm lucky to be married to her.
Nice. So do you grow produce at the house there and everything? Your own produce? You got your own little garden there?
That is her responsibility.
Well, I mean, you get to eat from it. That's what I was saying. You get the fruit of the labor here.
Well, this was our first full growing season in Roswell.
Okay.
When we arrived last year, she had just enough time basically to clear out the old stuff and begin soil prep. So She is very scientific about the way she
I would
does it.
imagine,
So
yeah.
she had tester gardens and a couple of other things, but we had the most magnificent sunflowers that I've ever seen in my life.
Nice.
And the amount of insect and animal life that came back to our yard. She came in and every single day had said something about the pollinators, the bees and the flower or the butterflies and all the other things that were showing up. And then one day she comes walking in and she goes, "Honey, we got a tortoise in our yard." And no idea where it came from. It just showed up in the middle of the garden.
and that's a kind of a neat little thing to see. So I'm glad to see that. Good deal. Well, thank you as always, Kevin. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time here. And if you want to bring some produce, hey, here's some zucchini.
Farmer's market.
That's right.
The farmer's market.
That's where I'll go. Thanks, Kevin.
All right.
7:58. Let's get you into a quick, your sports update. Don't go away.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Got some scores from yesterday, soccer and volleyball. In soccer, girls soccer, it was Goddard narrowly escaping the trap game, we'll call it that. Goddard wins 2-1 over Lovington at home. Goddard gets both goals from Lexi Pinion and moves to 7-7 on the season. Lovington was 1-11 coming into it. Also yesterday, Roswell girls soccer loses to Hobbs 3-2. That was the district opener for both Roswell and Goddard in their respective games. Also yesterday, NMMI clobbers Hot Springs boys soccer 10-0. Hobbs beats Roswell by a 3-1 count, and in volleyball, Goddard beats Hobbs in a sweep 3-0 to move to 8-2. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Rapidly strengthening storm is approaching Florida's southwest coast with landfall expected this afternoon. Governor DeSantis says Ian is a hurricane.
It's going to have major impacts, both on impact in southwest Florida, but then as it continues to work through the state, it is going to have major impacts in terms of wind, in terms of rain, in terms of flooding. So this is going to be a nasty day, 2 days. Probably we think now it will be exiting the peninsula sometime on Thursday.
The National Hurricane Center's Eric Blake.
I think we want to emphasize the extreme risk of storm surge in southwestern Florida. If you're in Naples, Fort Myers, Port Charlotte, all the way up, could be an exceptionally damaging event. With the potentially catastrophic storm surge of up to 18 feet. Ian has already unleashed flooding across the Keys and has cut power to tens of thousands of utility customers. Meanwhile, across the Florida Strait,
the U.S. National Hurricane Center says Cuba sustained significant wind and storm surge impacts when the hurricane struck, with top sustained winds of 125 miles an hour. The entire island lost power. Correspondent Donna Warder says the island's famed tobacco fields also hard hit by the storm. The Kremlin going ahead with plans to annex areas of Ukraine seized by Russian troops following Putin's invasion. Moscow claims that residents of the occupied regions voted yes on the question of joining Russia. However, Ukraine's government and the West describe the vote as a sham. The Dow is up 185 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
The UN Security Council holds an emergency meeting following Russia's announcement of the results of the votes that were held in parts of Ukraine now under its control.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky called for global sanctions on Russia for sham referendums and attempts to annex parts of his country. After the meeting, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas-Greenfield announced a joint resolution with Albania condemning the votes and demanding Russia withdraw its troops from Ukraine. She also warned Vladimir Putin's government.
Let me be clear. If Russia uses its veto to shield itself from accountability, we will then look to the UN General Assembly to send an unmistakable message to Moscow.
The resolution could be before the Security Council later this week or early next. I'm Tim McGuire.
The European Union suspects a damage to 2 underwater natural gas pipelines as a result of sabotage. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. There is final approval for construction of the first nationwide network of electric vehicle charging stations.
That will mean one roughly every 50 miles along interstate highways. It's part of a plan to spur widespread adoption of zero-emission cars. The Transportation Department approved plans to install or upgrade fast chargers along 75,000 miles of highway coast to coast. By year's end, drivers could start seeing shiny upgrades to existing highway EV stations in states including California, Colorado, Florida, and Pennsylvania. John Scott reporting.
Recapping the hour's top story, Hurricane Ian continues churning off the coast of southwest Florida. The top winds clocked at 155 miles per hour. That's just short of the most devastating Category 5 hurricane status. Ian expected to make landfall this afternoon. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Yes, welcome to it.
It's middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Hope it's good.
Yeah.
Weather's nice.
Shaped up to be
everything
regular,
else is good.
Practically fall time, almost fall time week.
Yeah, absolutely. Got Phil Umpall's our guest here. Well, I saw Roy talking to somebody.
Oh.
Cool. I just saw, I don't know, Roy. I just saw Roy look like he was having a conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed it was another person, but I didn't see the other side, so I'm like, or is he just...
This could be Roy's Field of Dreams moment.
Pontificating out to the ether there. I didn't know.
Things like to, hold an apple and just stare off into the distance. ponder and pontificate.
That's right. Well, happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good day so far and everything's going well. It's just another day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes, everything's going pretty good. A lot of stuff kind of getting the fall, football, everything's just it's starting to feel a little fall-like.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah.
This Friday it all kicks off. I mean, Football Friday, obviously.
Mhm.
Got all the livestock sales happening starting Saturday.
Yeah, the fair and all that, yeah.
Yeah, there's events happening. I believe Walk for Hope is this weekend, I believe.
Is it? I haven't heard.
I'm not sure it's this weekend or next weekend. I
Okay.
don't quote me on that, but I think it might be this weekend. But
Okay.
also Red Deer Black Gold and Artesia happening on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Eastern New Mexico State Fair. So, yeah, we're gearing up for a very busy weekend and a hugely busy week ahead.
Even though the fair officially gets underway Monday with the parade, it actually kicks off Friday.
Yep.
They'll have the carnival open Friday. The commercial building and all that will not be open.
Right.
And the local vendors won't be there, but the carnival and the carnival vendors will be there. And they will have livestock shows. They're going to be doing the Longhorns.
Yep.
Friday night at the show ring. And then Saturday, they're going to be out at the Bob Crosby Arena with the Longhorns. So, and then, of course, the carnival will be open Saturday as well, too.
Yes.
And then Sunday, everything will close down. Close down to the public anyway. And then they'll
clean up all the vomit.
Officially start. Well, they put in the animals and bring in all the animals and all that stuff. And then Monday, the parade starting like 10 a.m. downtown here.
Yep. Line up early because guaranteed the good spots are going to fill up real fast. They always do.
And the good spots are, if you're wondering, that the parade runs, they assemble at the Wool Bowl.
Yep.
And so they'll come off of College there and then head south on Main Street towards Summit, which is where the Ashley store, the artist formerly known as Sears, there, that right there, that intersection. So that's the parade route from College, starts there on Main south to Summit, and the sweet spot, the main area, is right there at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn.
That's the presentation spot.
Yeah, that's where the judges are.
Anywhere
That's
between
where
there and like the Mickey D's is like your real prime location.
But if you want to see if any of the parade entrants have a little show or whatever they're going to do it right there in front of the courthouse lawn, in front of the judges and everything. So that's probably going to be the most popular areas to hang out and watch the parade. But if you're like, I want a little elbow room, I don't want to be, all up on people, then farther north or farther south, closer to Summit or close to College,
there's always
you're going to find a little bit more room to move.
There's always a really good open spot, like right, kind of like near where the old Payless used to be, kind of in that region for like 2 blocks. There's like usually some open space.
Yeah.
But it really starts queuing up a lot in the Ashley parking lot, and it really starts queuing up a lot, kind of along that wall next to the what used to be the pharmacy over there. Yeah, that little spot. You get a lot of people over there, but there's some quiet areas right there, kind of just after the courthouse, where couple blocks is just kind of quiet, and then it picks back up. But the sweet spot is right there in downtown.
Yeah, so that's what we recommend there. But if, you do you and enjoy it and come on out, and of course kids will be off school Monday with Fair Day and all that good stuff. So it should be a fun day. I know, by the way, E&MUR will be closed.
Yes,
Monday as well, in observance of Fair Day too. So the college kids get the day off too. So, and adults. Not just the kids, the adults get it too. So so come on out, and then of course, then it's fair on right after that with shows and concerts and everything else all week like next week. So
they're saying, I think this year they're bringing a couple new things. The NASCAR experience. I think Dan the Farmer Man is one of the couple of the shows that are going to be happening there. Those are the free daily shows. Then the concerts each night. They've got entertainment pretty much, I think, starting Tuesday every single night of the fair, leading up to Colby Cooper on Friday night, which is the headliner.
Good deal. And then don't forget Junior Livestock Sale Saturday morning. That's kind of the crescendo of the livestock side of the fair. So definitely, but we'll talk more fair throughout the week and all. I think we've got a couple more fair guests.
It'll come up.
Fairly certain.
To be fair.
To be fair. We do have more guests coming. But for this hour, Kim Dusendorf with Big Brothers Big Sisters for Southeast New Mexico to join us here in just a bit. Give us an update what's in recruit, because I've never ever had. I don't care if it was Bill or Kim or whoever comes in here from Big Brothers Big Sisters. They've never come in and say, you know what,
we're good.
We got enough volunteers. Thanks for
full up.
Thanks for playing.
I don't even know why I'm here. Full up.
Matter of fact, we need more kids. They never say that. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk recruiting. We'll talk just Big Brothers Big Sisters here. Talk Big Brothers Big Sisters here.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is overrun with bigs, and they've got to make room.
Sunday. Got to work in the half.
Let their loss be your gain.
Yeah.
I joke about the cliches, but I've used them so many times.
Well, it's funny. I've been hearing, like the last week or so, I've been hearing a lot, because I guess there was some, maybe it was this past weekend, up in Albuquerque or Santa Fe or somewhere, they're having a monster truck show.
Oh, yeah.
And so those ads were playing all week. Grave digger.
I always love the get ready.
Yeah, Megalodon.
That guy right before he walks into the studio, he's got like a hot tea with lemon. He's just like, mommy, may, mo. Get ready for the monster show. Yeah.
Ready. Yeah.
And then afterwards, he's like, I think I'll have a tuna sandwich.
Yeah. My latte is tepid.
You call this tonic water?
Is this green tea, or are you trying to slip some black tea on me here? What is this?
Yeah, I always love watching vocal warm-ups, or the dudes who do that right beforehand, just to see how they get into character.
The arsonist wants a bank loan.
Get ready. Like, I imagine that's exactly what Dave Mustaine does right before he walks on stage.
Yeah. Get ready for.
Because if you think about it, every monster truck announcer out there is basically just doing their best version of sweating bullets.
I always wonder what's a.
Hello, me. It's me again.
I'll sell
you the whole seat.
You say this, and so I'm going to, because for years, there's a line where he goes, "Oh crap, a do dementia." I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
I don't think he says, "Oh crap." I'm pretty sure he's saying because it was Megadeth, so they're obviously it's all about monsters and demons and
there's a line there. He's like, "Oh crap, a do dementia." I'm like, what is he saying? I don't even know what that means.
I'd have to pull up the lyrics. I have no idea. In the Sweating Bullets, or
I'm pretty sure that's the song. Yeah, because it's an "Hello me, meet the real me." Yeah. It's my misfit way of life. Yeah, there's a line there. He says something like, "Oh crap, I do dementia." I don't know what that is.
Embark on a new dimension. That's the only thing I can think of. A new dimension is the only thing I can think of.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a monster truck with the Mazel Tov thing.
Monster truck. Laheim.
All right. It is 8:15 before I disparage any more Dave Mustaine lyrics. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warm and fair for the next 2 days with high pressure parked over the central. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warm and fair for the next 2 days with high pressure parked over the central Rockies, and that's also covering our area. Sunshine and upper 80s for the afternoon high today, and a little bit breezy. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then tomorrow looks about the same with mid to upper 80s on the high and sunny, mid-80s and sunny on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
There you go. Sorry about that. I don't know. Weather computer was kind of doing its own thing there, so I had to straighten it out. Sorry about that. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are calm at the moment. It's like I was saying last hour, it's pretty uneventful. Just beautiful, nice weather for the next week or so here. Sunny, 87 today. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies for tonight with an overnight low of 56 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny, 86 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 early. will increase 10 to 15 tomorrow afternoon. Excuse me. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 56. And then Friday, mostly sunny, 86 for a high. South winds 5 to 15. And then the weekend, more of the same. Sunny and 85 on Saturday. 86 on Saturday, sunny and 85 on Sunday. And then next week when you head back to work and school, 87 and sunny Monday, 85 and sunny on Tuesday. So a lot of middle just sunniness for the next week or so here in southeast New Mexico. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then Kim's going to join us from Big Brothers Big Sisters on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a deer. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
I'm Mitch Kurkowskis, Vice President of Strata Production Company, a local oil and gas business in Roswell. We must have representatives like Greg Nybert who know the economic drivers of this community and New Mexico. Greg has pushed back on efforts by liberal Democrats who are against oil and gas. With over 39 years' experience, Greg Nybert knows the jobs local oil and gas companies create, the opportunities we provide, and the prosperity we bring to our communities. Oil and gas accounts for over 40% of the state budget and has allowed our state to provide raises to educators and state police, and the rebate checks you received. Please vote for Greg Nybert for State Representative, District 59, to keep a strong conservative voice in our legislature. I'm Greg Nybert, and I ask you to please vote for me for House District 59. Voting begins on October 11th, and Election Day is November 8th.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative. Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
There's nothing like the rich look and luxurious feel of real leather. Glenn's Furniture has a special inventory of high-quality leather furniture in dozens of beautiful colors. Power reclining sofas, love seats, and recliners in a variety of styles, all covered in soft, durable leather that would look fabulous in your home. Visit Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda and upgrade to leather today. Glenn's, making homes beautiful since 1953.
Prepare for the scare. The city of Roswell presents Night of the Living Zoo, October 28th and 29th at the Spring River Zoo, with spooktastic fun for the whole family, including carnival games, a bouncing castle, carousel, and of course, trick-or-treating with lots of candy. Wear your Halloween costumes and prepare for the affair of the spooky season. Admission is only $5. Kids 3 and under are free. Get tickets and more info at roswell-connect.com. Night of the Living Zoo, October 28th and 29th at the Spring River Zoo in Roswell. See you there.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The season rolls on for your Roswell Coyotes, and coming up this Friday night, your Coyotes are back home at the Wool Bowl, squaring off against the Panthers of Piedra Vista High. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com has got you covered with every second of the action. Join Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald for the pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Coyotes versus the Panthers of Piedra Vista, Friday beginning at 6:45 on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Southeast New Mexico, Kim Dusendorf back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful.
Good. Good to hear that. It's nice when everyone's doing well.
Yes.
So, especially in this world, right? In the world today with everything going on, we need more people doing well.
Indeed.
Good deal.
Indeed.
So for folks not familiar, Kim's with Big Brothers Big Sisters, which I think most everyone has heard of the organization Big Brothers Big Sisters. If you have not, it is an international mentorship program for that pairs adults with children and to provide that friend mentor just opportunity for a child to connect with an adult and provide more just overall enrichment to their lives. That's pretty much what Big Brothers Big Sisters does. So,
that's it.
And it doesn't matter. And the kids come from all walks of life. Some kids come from affluent parents. Some come from a single parent. Some come from foster care. If there is a child, then they are really, part of the equation here. There is no atypical kid in Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's they come from all backgrounds, all walks of life. They get recommended by parents, teachers, neighbors, all kinds of stuff. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just an opportunity for kids to kind of connect with adults and talk and help them navigate life, just like everyone could use a little help navigating life.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it takes a village, and we're just a part of the village.
Absolutely. Good news is you have lots of opportunities to volunteer. The bad news is we have a lot of kids that are looking for bigs right now. So we have many children that are just waiting for this opportunity, and the only thing we're waiting on right now is volunteers like you guys to come and step forward here and learn and be a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters. So, just talking, since we're talking numbers a little bit, like just ballparking right now, like how many kids are waiting right now for a big in Chaves County?
So that number, it's gone down, actually.
Good. That's a good thing. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes. And so thank you, Roswell and Chaves County.
Absolutely.
So I think we're down to about a dozen now that are on the waiting list.
And don't worry, if for folks in Eddy County and down there too, they could use your help as well too.
Absolutely.
Just because we're talking Chaves County numbers here. Big Brothers Big Sisters throughout Southeast New Mexico. They got, of course, some great people down Artesia area and down part south. But they need adults and volunteers just as bad as we do here in Chaves County.
Yes.
So if you're listening down that area, reach out to the Eddy County folks and let them help you out there. But it's so. And here's the thing: it's not a huge ask or requirement of time from your volunteers. As far as official numbers, they basically ask for about an hour a week or 4 hours a month.
Yes.
That by no means is a regimented thing. It's a give or take. One week you may spend 4 hours, then you won't spend another 2 weeks together or something. But I mean, it's not. But that's just to kind of give you a ballpark of what they're expecting from commitment time. Is just spend basically an hour a week with a child. And again, as Kim, we've talked about many times, you don't have to, oh boy, what do I got to do? I got an hour. I got to make this kid like me in an hour. What do I got to do that? And it's nothing like that. It's just incorporating these children into your day-to-day lives. They match you based on interests and things. So if you're a person that's like, I love woodworking. I love to go out and do carpentry and things like that. Well, guess what? They'll probably find a kid that likes doing crafts and arts and things, and maybe you bond over that. Or it's like, I'm a reader. Oh, well, great. Well, guess what? We got some kids that love to read. Maybe y'all can do library trips and talk about books and do those kind of things. Or maybe it's like, hey, we just like going out to see movies and eating and having social. Well, great. Well, let's get to Little and go see a movie together and go have lunch. Or it's not about creating a grandiose experience for these kids. It's just being a part of their lives and incorporating your life a little bit into their lives and vice versa.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be this entertainer. It's not like, oh, turn the switch on, it's showtime. It's none of that stuff. It's just you living life with these children and kind of you letting your experiences rub off on each other and enriching both of you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
That's really what it is. So if you have time, and I think everybody does if you really think about it, it's just... to be honest, the biggest time commitment is going to be probably the initial process of the background check, a lot of interview questioning to learn about you and what makes you tick and your personality, so they can create the best success possible for the matches here. Because they'll go and ask all the kids about their interests, hobbies, things they love, things they don't like, and all that, and they ask you the same thing. And that's what they use to kind of say, you know what? I bet this person would be a good little pairing together. It's not like, oh, good, we got 12 adults, great, 12 kids, 1A, B, T, you go and take them in that room. It's not like that. There really is a whole process. It's like dating, the dating match websites and all the gauntlet you go through. It's similar to that, to just find the right chemistry to make this match work.
Yes.
And that's really your time consuming part is probably gonna be the first month or two as you're going through all the in processing. Once you meet the kid and get settled, it's an hour a week and you're living your life and you're saying, hey, let's call so-and-so and see if they want to come to the movies with us today or whatever. It's just living your life and doing your thing. So it's not a big ask. It's not a big time commitment other than maybe this initial, hey, let's make sure, because there's going to be thorough background checks. We want to make sure everything's safe and above board and all of that. So there is a bit of time consuming. So please understand that it's all for the benefit of everybody involved.
Yes.
And then the other way I'd say, if you can't help, and this is going back to Bill Wolf, bigs and bucks is what we need. And if you're thinking, well, I got so much on my plate. I got 4 jobs. I get it. That life's too much. But if you're like, you know what, I'd like to help financially. Bowl for Kids' Sake, it's now back on a regular track, but it took a little bit of a cattywampus hiatus over COVID here for a couple of years. But that remains to be the biggest fundraising event for Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Chaves County. So they haven't been able to do a lot of fundraising over the last several years. They got some in, thank goodness.
Yes.
But and they do get help from United Way and things, but that doesn't cover everything that needs to be covered. That the Bowl for Kids' Sake funding really fills in the gaps, helps with the matches, helps with paying utilities and things that ancillary costs of being Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so because we haven't had that, by you making donations, by you helping out financially, you're also doing the Lord's work to help Big Brothers Big Sisters as well too. So so if you can't necessarily commit time wise, maybe you can make a donation or put them on a regular setup, or if you do like United Way donations, maybe earmark some for Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico, something like that. So those are really the 2 best ways to help out right now, I'm guessing, right?
Yep. That would be pretty much it.
Okay.
And I have some exciting news.
Okay, good.
So we have been working like crazy trying to get programs up and running here. We're COVID just gave us such a blow, and I know people are tired of hearing of COVID, but for us, it really was, especially shutting down our school programs and stuff.
Well, and anytime you're dealing with kids, everyone goes on the overabundance of caution.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing; it's a good thing. I'm just saying, but that's always been the mindset. It's like kids are involved, extra cautious,
right?
And so obviously that's what you deal with every day. So we're like, all right, we're gonna, I get caution. We're gonna err on the side of caution. We'd rather be wrong and nothing happen than do nothing and then something happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just it's one of those things.
So it was. So we've got we've worked on a partnership with several schools. We've got Goddard and Del Norte.
Great.
That we're doing a partnership with, and this is going to be a really cool program where the high school kids go and they mentor the elementary school kids.
So this is kind of coming back.
Yes.
This was something that was kind of building and expanding pre-COVID, and then COVID put the kibosh on all this.
Right.
But we're starting to see that coming back into the schools.
Yes,
Great.
because we had a very successful program like that in Dexter.
Awesome.
And so now we're trying to implement it here.
Great.
And so that program is starting. And then the high school kids, of course, get mentored by Big Brothers Big Sisters staff. So it's a well,
and it's great because the teenagers, the high school kids, they're in that sweet spot where they're in life where everyone's still trying to tell them what to do, but they're at a point where they're starting to don leadership skills and things and start acting and thinking like an adult a little bit. So this is that transition for them where they're not full adults. They're not capable to run their lives and handle the bills and do all the things that adults are supposed to be doing.
Right.
But they certainly have life experience and a lot of things, and especially to a child in elementary school age, they're probably the best known as far as age bracket of people. They're probably the best equipped on the planet to understand what those kids in elementary school are going to go through next.
Right.
And so for them to be able to share that wisdom and knowledge with them is a cool thing because it gives them that transition like, here's what it's like to be on the other side of the fence, the one giving the advice, giving the mentorship instead of being on the receiving end of it. And so that's why I love it. It helps with that transition to adulthood for some of these kids too. Because like, oh wait, people look up to me. What's that about? You know what I mean? And that's a cool thing. So.
Yeah, and we help them with, when on the mentorship side for the high school kids, we help them with college applications and learning how to do good resumes and interviews. And so we help prepare them too for college and life after high school. So,
sure.
And then it's super cool for the elementary kids because they're like, oh, this big kid's coming to hang out with me, right?
Yeah.
So,
especially if they're like involved in sports or something where they might know from a football game or basketball game or band or NIMI. I know I know when NIMI was involved in doing this, and hopefully we'll do that again. Those kids show up in uniform, all those it was a big deal. So
exactly. So another thing that we're working on, and I have to give a big shout out to Leprino Foods. They have been an awesome supporter of our program.
They are amazing partners in the community with everything, not just Big Brothers, but they're involved in a lot of different things in our community.
So they've been awesome supporters of us for a while now, and
Good.
So now they're partnering with us for their employees to be mentors.
Okay.
And we're working on a program to do a lunch buddies thing with East Grand Plains.
Oh, nice.
Over there, and we're also, just giving their employees the opportunity to be volunteers with us, and so big shout out to them for
and I imagine
partnering with us on that.
The Leprino, because we think like we just had Chili Cheese Festival and all that, and unfortunately they weren't able to do tours and stuff like they have in years past, but kind of one of the things locals know is like they got that pizza out there. Like when you go visit, they get the pizza and all. So you're like, there's probably a lot of kids that think Leprino, like the pizza guy, you know what I mean? And so I imagine they're well liked when they come into schools because I've never met a kid that doesn't like pizza.
Right.
I've yet to meet a kid that says pizza's gross. So it's great. So
and that's. So we've got a lot of programs in the works. We've got, and like applications are going out, and so we're getting enrollees. So that's awesome. But of course, with expansion, like you said, bigs and bucks, we need, we'll need funding.
Sure. I am curious about a program that also went away with COVID. Talking about if there's updates and all this, and I know I'm not sure if this was something Bill kind of was supporting, and I'm not sure if this was a statewide thing or just locally here, but prior to COVID, you guys had an opportunity for folks to donate items. They had the big yellow dumpsters.
Yes.
I keep saying dumpsters and not dumpsters, bins that are all around town, and people could donate like yard sale, like if you have an old bike or old things that would fit in the.
Right.
I keep saying dumpster bin.
Yes, I know.
Sorry, I don't mean to. It's just is that it's coming back, or is it talks about it or anything?
We're not sure yet.
Okay, it's still up in the air.
Right. Well, the thing about those bins is that was a statewide kind of collective effort.
So that's coming from a higher up.
all of the agencies in New Mexico.
Okay.
But it was headquartered out of Albuquerque,
Okay.
and so we would get donations based
by the pound.
By the pound.
Yeah, you just get a pound. You go and donate your coffee pots, things you could put in the bin,
right?
And then they would pay you guys by the weight. They turn around and go to thrift stores and things.
Yeah, because it is a thrift store that's up in Albuquerque, and I know, and COVID kind of shut all that stuff down,
Gotcha.
and it's open back up, but I think there's problems getting people,
Gotcha.
staffing and
things
like that.
So they've got more logistics before we may see that come back. I
Right.
I was just curious.
It's being worked on,
Okay.
but we're not there yet.
Okay, so if people are holding on to stuff, maybe go ahead and donate to the main site or somebody else.
Yeah.
And in the meantime,
Yeah.
here, unless you just want to hold on to it.
Yeah, we absolutely appreciate people thinking of us, and because I do still get calls about the bins, and
I was just curious if there was an update on that. So.
But not yet.
Okay, but I know is everything in the works for Bowl for Kids' Sake in the spring again, or are we going to try to? I know last year you did it in Halloween because of everything here, but the plan is to move it back to April time.
Right. Yeah, and we had talked a little bit about maybe doing it this year, and then we were like, we don't want to do it in April because we just had it in October.
Right.
And then we're like, but if we want to go back to the April schedule, we can't really do a Halloween one again because it'll be,
same problem as last year.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so we'll get back on the schedule that everybody knows and is used to. So in about mid-April.
Okay. Well, if you were thinking, well, man, I've been kind of working, no problem. Donate the money now because they need it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, if you go to the website, which I'll give you here in a little bit, there is a donate now button there that you can do that. So if you've kind of been like, well, I've been planning and plotting, hold out till spring. Or donate that now and then raise some more money for later. But
yeah, we'll have more news coming on that here towards the end of the year. November, December, where we'll be.
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's to be honest, the bowling event that day in April. That's a non-work day. There's no. That's the party. Everyone's just bowling, eating pizza, and having fun and all that. All the work is the months leading up to it, forming your teams, raising the money, trying to, get a little competitive with each team and see who can raise the more money. But by the time that Saturday hits, everyone's just ready to have a good time bowling and just socializing and having a good time out there. So the real work is prior to the day of.
Correct.
But if you please start putting teams together now. Start putting your. Is it 4 or 5? I always forget the number.
It's 5 people.
$500, $100 per person is kind of what the number is. So 5-person team.
Yep.
And start putting them together. And if you want to put the Wayne Gretzky's or whatever of the bowling world together and say, all right, we got the stealth elite team of bowler, whatever, you know that. But it's just for fun. We can it'll be wacky fun and all that. But if you want to take your bowling seriously, it's like coming out there with what was the Big Lebowski? You know how they used to do it? You want to do all that? Go for it.
But it is. It's just for fun. It's to celebrate, the successful fundraising and to thank the community for helping us to raise the funds. Absolutely.
And of course, let me ask this: because we've talked about bigs and things like that, but let's talk about the other side. If someone knows a little that would benefit from the program, how does that process work as far as getting a little on your radar?
Okay, so all you have to do is call us.
Okay,
or you can go to our website. So it's 627-2227 to call. And the website
BBBS if you need letters to.
Yes. And the website is www.bbssenm.org. You can just
I got it memorized now.
Yeah.
I do it. Yeah. Does he have the cheat sheet? They used to have a cheat sheet on the thing, but they took it down from me for years.
But you can just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeastern New Mexico, or Big Brothers Big Sisters Roswell, or Big Brothers Big Sisters Chavez.
Yeah.
But it'll pop up for you.
Yeah.
But you can go on our website. There's lots of information there, and there is a what we call an interest form where you can basically sign your kid up, and it asks, what your kid, your name, some contact information, and then a staff person will contact you and start the actual enrollment process.
Okay, and please be aware, you do not have to be the parent or the guardian to recommend.
Correct.
They ultimately will have to get permission of the parent and guardian. But if you're a school counselor or a pastor or someone that's involved in this child's life and said, man, I think that child could benefit from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and then of course you guys will reach out to the family and say, you were recommended. Is this something you're interested in? I think we can help. And they'll go from there. But to nominate, and to be honest, the smart move is talk to the family yourself first before you do it, but you can nominate someone. But the smart move would be say, hey, talk to the parents, see if they're cool with you doing this, and if so, then start the process. But whatever. But in theory, anybody can recommend a child for the program. But once they actually get in the program, then parents get involved in all that.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, if you're thinking, man, I that kid's missing something in their life, I think Big Brothers Big Sisters might be that answer for them. But yeah, talk to the parent or guardian and see what they think. But yeah, you can more than welcome to recommend that.
Yep. And so and for the littles, it's a relatively simple process, but it is lengthy too.
Sure.
Because we do we have an application, and then we do the interview with the littles and with the family as well. Because we get from the parent or guardian, what do you think your child needs, right? And things like that. And then, we talk to the kid and what kind of stuff do you like and all that. And so, it is kind of a lengthy process too.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what the kids, that's the idea is you're trying to, figure out what they're into and all that. And then, it's all about making connections. And so you're trying to learn the info to find where the connections are.
Yes.
So I do have a question on the, as far as, the kids, obviously up to 18, what's the youngest that they're eligible to become a little?
Is 5.
5 years old. Okay.
Yes.
I always knew they can go up to 18, but I was like, when can they start? So what's 5 is what, preschool? Or is that kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
That's kindergarten.
Yeah,
okay.
and we will take them that young.
Okay.
But really, ideally, about 7 or 8.
Okay.
Just because they're
it's about like first, second grade time.
Yeah,
frame is probably...
and only because then they're starting to kind of, settle down a little bit.
Sure.
It's not, and that's not really the best way to say that.
They're starting to develop their likes, dislikes a little bit more concretely, and things like that. Where as a kid at preschool or kindergarten, you're kind of throwing everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
By the time they're in first and second grade, you're starting to get an idea. Okay, not into this, into this.
Right.
That kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and so it makes it easier. For all parties involved, honestly.
Makes sense.
But yes, we have like both 5 to 18 is the age range.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So please, again, go to the website www.bbbssenm.org. Again, it's the initials for Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico. So if you remember that and just count on your fingers or whatever, that'll be the web. But if you don't remember any of that, like Kim mentioned, Google Big Brothers Big Sisters Roswell, Chaves County, Southeast New Mexico. Any of those will get you. You can just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters, except you're going to get the international. Yeah. And you're going to learn about Big Brothers Big Sisters all over the globe, which if you want to, go for it. But if you're trying to narrow your info to more local, then put that Roswell or Southeast New Mexico or Chaves County.
Yeah. Or I think Google, you can even just do Big Brothers Big Sisters near me, and we pop up that way too.
That's right. Our computers are smart enough to know where we are all the time. So certainly your smartphones, they probably know better than you do.
Yeah.
And I know enough about social media. If you just hang around your phone long enough and say Big Brothers Big Sisters a bunch of times, you'll just start getting stuff on it, kind of steering you in that direction. Yep. So that's another way to do it too. Just hang around your smartphone long enough and start mentioning it. It'll tell you.
Yeah.
If anybody give out the phone number again, the
627-2227.
Yeah, that's the number. And of course, if during office hours, which typically 8 to 5. Of course, she's here right now, so probably no one to take that call. So leave a voicemail if you don't get Kim directly, and she'll get back to you as soon as possible. She, like she said, she's and when she's not at the office, she's probably out and about meeting kids and meeting parents and meeting matches and making those connections happen. So, so sometimes that, because I imagine you probably go to houses to do all that stuff sometimes and everything else.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, we do in-home interviews and things like that, or we'll do them, we'll meet at the park to do, So,
well, it's great you can do that again, because I imagine you probably couldn't do that for the longest time here. And you were meeting everybody via a video screen.
Right.
So it's probably nice to say, oh, look, how you doing? Can I shake your hand? Yes, I can.
Yes.
How nice. That's great. So good deal. Is there, Kim, is there anything we forgot to mention or we didn't get a chance to share?
No, I think that pretty much covered everything.
Good deal. Well, folks, if you're looking for an opportunity to get involved, the Big Brothers Big Sisters is a great way to do it. You'll love it. I imagine, and I say this every time, it's a program for the youth and these kids into helping them become fine adults. But at the same time, there's probably so many adults that become better adults and get reminded of what youth and being a kid and fun and all those things that it's easy as an adult to forget happens in life because you get wrapped up in so many other things. Sometimes things like Big Brothers Big Sisters remind you of all that stuff and says, there is more to life than the TPS reports I'm supposed to be turning in tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
That kind of stuff. So good deal. Well, Kim, as always, appreciate it. We'll see you here next time.
Absolutely.
And glad you got a little vacation there and got to see some family. That was awesome.
Yes.
So good to hear. So glad you're doing well.
Yeah. Well, it was good to be here. I appreciate you.
We'll see. And if we need more time, we got events or anything, please, let me know. We'll make that happen. So.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. It is 8:48. Let us pause for local news, your Wall Street business update, a quick commercial break, which may or may not have political ads. It won't be it's not as bad right now as it will be from a month from now. Month from now, y'all going to be mad. Now you're just irritated. So here's an irritating break coming up.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Kate the Chemist is headed to the Roswell Science and Art Festival. The Late Show Science Talent will perform at the free community event on Saturday, October 8th. Dr. Kate Bieberdorf's mission is to ignite, inspire, and motivate young students to develop a love for learning and exploration in the sciences. She targets students who are intimidated by science and utilizes hands-on demonstrations to foster a determination to pursue a science-related degree at the collegiate level. New state data shows New Mexico's repeat rate for child abuse is among the worst in the country, a newspaper reported Tuesday. The Albuquerque Journal reports more than 40% of children in New Mexico who had a substantiated serious injury from physical abuse or neglect in fiscal year 2022 came from families who had a prior involvement with the state's Children, Youth, and Families Department in the previous year. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warm and fair for the next few days with high pressure parked over the central Rockies, and that's also covering our area. Sunshine and upper 80s for the afternoon high today and a little bit breezy. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then tomorrow looks about the same with mid to upper 80s on the high and sunny, mid-80s and sunny on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. consumers grew more confident for the second month in a row as gas prices continued to fall. The Conference Board said Tuesday that its Consumer Confidence Index rose to 108 in September from 103.6 in August. The back-to-back monthly increases follow 3 straight monthly declines as American households were hammered by rising prices. For the first time in a decade, Americans will pay less next year on monthly premiums for Medicare's Part B plan, which covers routine doctor's visits and other outpatient care. The rare 3% decrease in monthly premiums is likely to be coupled with a historically high cost of living increase in Social Security benefits, perhaps 9 or 10%. The British pound stabilized Tuesday as UK authorities tried to ease investor concerns after the biggest tax cuts in 50 years sent the currency tumbling to a record low. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The VA reports 149,756 military veterans living here in New Mexico.
What doesn't get reported much are steps to improve their quality of life and honor their service. Did you know that major improvements are coming to our only long-term skilled nursing home for New Mexico veterans? Back in July, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announced $60 million for upgrades and new home-like residences at the state's Veterans Home in Tier C. And she cut New Mexico's income tax on military retirement for the next 5 years. She's invested millions of dollars towards veteran cemeteries, a new Vietnam memorial wall, and towards the construction of a new Navajo Code Talkers Museum and Veterans Center in New Mexico. And she approved major upgrades to the Baton Memorial Park near Silver City this year too. As the daughter of a military veteran, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is a champion of New Mexico vets they can count on. Let's keep her.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Amigo Machinery, your local Kubota dealer for Southeast New Mexico, congratulates the Eastern New Mexico State Fair on 100 years. Come out to all the shows, enjoy the entertainment, the music, the food, and the rides as the Eastern New Mexico State Fair celebrates 100 years, October 3rd through the 8th. And Amigo Machinery invites you to tune in to KSVPTV.com for all the junior livestock events. Come celebrate 100 years of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Amigo Machinery, your local Kubota dealer, a proud sponsor of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Come on down. The Price is Right sales event is on at Roswell Nissan with a showcase showdown of amazing savings like a 2020 Nissan Sentra for just $289 a month, 2020 Nissan Versa for just $249 a month, or a 2014 Toyota Avalon for just $219 a month. Plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days available. If you got a job, a bank account, and a down payment or trade, Roswell Nissan can make it happen. The Price is Right sales event all month long at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd. Don't forget to have your pets spayed and neutered.
Celebrate a century of tradition at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, October 3rd through the 8th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Come experience it all. The 4-H and FFA Pavilion, the Arts and Crafts and Commercial Building, the livestock shows and sale, the amazing food, Wright's Carnival, and of course, the amazing entertainment, including the NASCAR Experience, Dan the Farmer Man, and music each night with headliner Colby Cooper Friday night at 6 p.m.
Don't act like it's breaking news.
And Saturday, it's Cumbia Night featuring Mickey Cruz and Grupo Maldad. And of course, the Ranch Rodeo Friday and Saturday night. Best of all, parking and all the concerts and the rodeo are free with your admission to the fair. Admission is only $12 for adults, $8 for kids and seniors, and kids 2 and under are free. Get more info at enmsf.com. The Eastern New Mexico State Fair, celebrating 100 years, October 3rd through the 8th. Ad paid for through the City of Roswell
Oasis
Lodgers
Computers
Tax.
has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Sales. Big O sales.
You can count on Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in now through October 9th and save between $70 and $100 instantly on select sets of Bridgestone and Firestone tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra, required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details.
The Goddard Rockets are soaring through the season, and coming up this Friday night, your Rockets are back on the road, taking on the Eagles of Belen High. Fiera 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com will have every second of the action. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Eagles of Belen High. Friday beginning at 6:45 on Fiera 106.1 FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2022.
Rush, play fake, bootleg to the right.
Only heard here.
Looking to throw it in the end zone.
All season.
Leaping catch. That is Noah Brown with his first NFL touchdown.
Sunday afternoon, it's your Cowboys and the Washington Commanders.
Live from AT&T Stadium.
On this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Sunday at 10 a.m. on your Dallas Cowboy station. 92.9 The Brand.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:57. I got a few minutes here before we'll get you into news. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We'll have folks from American Legion Post 61 family join us. Jen and Lee will drop in, Commander Lee and President of the Auxiliary Jen, and we'll get an update from them on what they've been up to last month, and, of course, talk about upcoming events like Veterans Day here, which is, just a hair over a month away here a little bit. Was October's just around the corner, and November will be here before you know it. So we'll get an update on that from them. And then, of course, if you miss any part of our interviews, you can always go back and check them out at your leisure, ksvptv.com, and see them there. By the way, I mentioned this not that anybody cares, except like me. Maybe. I barely care. But the Cowboys, of course, they host Washington on Sunday. We will carry the game on our sister stations. You'll hear the English version of the Cowboys game on 92.9 The Brand, and for those in Espanol at 106.1 FM Fierro. But Washington is their opponent this week, my team. They're awful. But they, I saw online this morning that from the Washington Commanders social media account that they are going to, for the first time, wear their black uniforms to AT&T Stadium for that game against Dallas. And this is the first they've. I think they wore they've got an all burgundy. They've got the whites, which they've worn these first couple games of the season, and then they have the burgundy, which I think they wore preseason, but I don't think they've worn it all. And then they've got a third uniform, which is black. It's a different helmet. Everything's different. It's it kind of looks Steelers like in the black and gold. It does have the burgundy trim, but they're going to debut those, and they're not. I like them. I like them myself. I know it's a little polarizing for some of these fans, but I like them. They're the new helmets for their burgundy and their white uniforms. It's that kind of matte finished burgundy with the gold. It's pretty sharp, actually. They did a good job. I like the look. But anyway, for the black third jersey, it's the helmet's all black with just a number on the side and a gold W on the front. So you'll get to see those on Sunday. All right, it is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Although landfall is still at least several hours away, Florida already feeling the effects of Hurricane Ian and has been all morning long. Correspondent Donna Warder says that words like catastrophic and historic being used in relation to the storm approaching Florida's southwest coast.
Hurricane Ian is a Category 4 storm. Eric Blake of the National Hurricane Center says the storm's surge could cause catastrophic damage, and from Naples to Sarasota is at high risk.
The entire Florida Peninsula and the Florida Keys will have significant effect from this hurricane.
Ian gained strength after battering Cuba, bringing down the island's power grid.
Governor Ron DeSantis says widespread power outages is expected across Florida.
There are over 30,000 linemen staged and ready for power restoration efforts across the state of Florida, and that includes linemen across all of our major utilities, and a lot of these linemen are coming from out of state. So this is a major, major effort.
And while fierce winds and torrential rains are a concern, Salem Media Tampa News Director Roger Schulman says a devastating storm surge is also expected.
This is a wall of water that can actually knock a house off its foundations, overturn an RV, and send cars just careening down the street on a wall of water.
A storm surge of up to 18 feet could swamp some areas. With 155-mile-per-hour winds, Ian falls just short of a Category 5 storm. Leaks have been discovered in 2 underwater natural gas pipelines that run from Russia to Germany, and the European Union suspects sabotage. Stocks are higher on Wall Street this hour. The Dow is up 251 points, the Nasdaq ahead 61, and the S&P 30 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Al Abaroa, founder of Knight Strategic Wealth. Inflation is a problem, markets are volatile, and the risk of running out of money in retirement is real. That's why I love annuities, and you should too. Your financial advisor doesn't want you to know that with our annuity strategy, when the stock market goes up, you earn a market-linked return that locks in every year, and when the stock market goes down, your annuity won't lose a dime. There are no unnecessary fees, and it works for your investments, money at a brokerage firm, or even money at a bank. It's simple, it's safe, and you should only invest if you learn the facts. And that's why savvy investors work with us. Want to learn more? Text FREE to 833-898-0500, and we'll send our retirement readiness kit directly to your phone right now. If you want to use safe, low-fee annuities to build a retirement portfolio that will go up with the market and never lose money, get our retirement readiness kit today and see how this strategy can help secure your future. Text FREE to 833-898-0500. Text FREE to 833-898-0500.
If you thought a railroad strike had been averted, better think again.
A union that rejected its deal with the nation's freight railroads earlier this month now has a new tentative agreement. But officials caution the contract dispute won't be fully settled until all 12 rail unions approve their agreements this fall. The 5-year deal includes a 24% pay increase and $5,000 in bonuses that were in the first deal, along with additional benefits including a cap on health insurance expenses and a promise that each railroad will negotiate individually over expense reimbursement. But a nationwide railroad strike is still possible if any of the 11 other railroad unions reject their agreements with the railroads that cover 115,000 workers total. Keith Peters reporting.
North Korea has fired off a ballistic missile toward its eastern waters, that according to the South Korean military. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. The Biden administration says it will cap the number of refugee admissions into the United States at 125,000, while it does the opposite.
A new report finds that President Biden's Department of Homeland Security released nearly 1.3 million illegal immigrants into the United States from February 2021 to August 2022. The Center for Immigration Studies data shows that number exceeds the resident populations of Wyoming, Vermont, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Delaware, Rhode Island, and Montana. Tasha Stevens reporting.
High winds, heavy rains, and flooding. The calling card from Hurricane Ian, which is approaching the southwest coast of Florida. The storm, with maximum sustained winds of 155 miles per hour, is a Category 4 hurricane. Landfall expected between 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris Inviernos.
It was a good add to that.
Making a cripple come in here and do stuff. Dang.
You should take one of those flyers.
I'm not going to take a flyer, Mike.
It'll help.
Will it?
Yes.
Will it help me? Slowly pushing the ball that doesn't exist?
It's going to help you.
I'm not trying to disparage Miss Monty.
You got to back you out of me. He needs some Tai Chi in your life.
I want me, Ethel, and Gertie all in a class together. I don't think that I'd fit the demo.
Well, or you can complain. Do what you want to do.
That's what I was planning on continuing to do. Thanks.
You do something about it or just complain.
Never mind what this place sounded like not 2 minutes ago.
Well, I complained. That's what I did.
Turns out, kids, there's more words than just the 7 that you can't say on the radio.
I make up words. I'm a wordsmith. I make up my own words. But sorry, yeah, that was inner workings of life at a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was going on there. So happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Weather's nice, at least.
Yeah, it's finally starting to get down to normal temperatures.
And I think I haven't seen the back half of next week, but I'm fairly certain the weather will be good for fair next week.
Fairly certain?
Fairly certain. It'll be good.
No fair chances of any kind of moisture?
Not through the first half.
Because I remember last year we were dealing with that for some of it.
Every year there seems to be one rain at the fair. Every year, one day, it does it. It just does. But we'll see. It just happens. You know, it's a week of things outdoors. Things are going to happen. It just happens. So you're indoors. You won't have to worry about the rain, just getting to it. But so I think the weather will be nice next week for fair.
Nice.
And it should be all good here, and certainly going to be good weather for this weekend for football and fair, because the fair actually unofficially starts on Friday with carnivals and the Longhorns. They're doing the livestock shows with Longhorns.
Yep.
Friday night they're going to be in the actual livestock show ring where most of the shows are. Saturday they're going to be over at the Bob Crosby Arena with the Longhorns.
Right.
So at the rodeo ring. So so if you're out to see the Longhorns this weekend, Friday at the livestock, Saturday out at Bob Crosby, which it's all there. You just you walk from one end to the other. Or if you're there on Saturday specifically for the rodeo, you probably want to park on the end over by the ball field and all the football field and all that side. And you can just breeze on in. But if not, they'll get you in on the other side there too. So, but yeah, all that's going on. And if you go to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's website, they've got time, schedule, the fair book, everything you need to know.
ENMSF.com.
That's the one. Go there and they'll get you all hooked up and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Of course, we'll do all of our normal features, get you up to date with the weather and all that here in just a bit. And then here in a few, we'll have the folks from the American Legion Post 61 family, Jen and Lee, join us and give us an update. What's happening there, things they've been doing, things they're going to be doing here over the next couple weeks, month here. So we'll get that update in just a few. Later on, we'll play the news of the local variety along with your Hannity update and your Wall Street business update and whatever else pops up on the agenda here for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, I was talking about how nice the weather is. Let me tell you how nice the weather is. Well, I won't. The meteorologist will. It's pretty boring, though.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Warm and fair for the next few days with high pressure parked over the central Rockies, and that's also covering our area. Sunshine and upper 80s for the afternoon high today and a little bit breezy. Clear and mid-50s for the overnight hours, and then tomorrow looks about the same with mid to upper 80s on the high and sunny, mid-80s and sunny on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
And currently, I didn't refresh my weather. I'm a bad host. Currently, 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 47%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunny today, 87 for a high. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 56 and southwest winds 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny, 86 for a high. South winds 5 to 10 early, picking up 10 to 15 for tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 56 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Friday, mostly sunny and 86. South winds 5 to 15. And then looking at the weekend on Saturday, sunny and 86. Sunday, sunny and 85. And then Monday for the fair parade and all that, sunny and 87. So if you like mid to upper 80s and sunny, you're going to be a happy camper for the next several days here. All right, it is 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and pause for a commercial break. I count 2 political ads in this one, and then we'll be back on the other side with folks from American Legion Post 61 family. Don't go away.
There's at least one thing most New Mexicans agree on. Our schools have a long way to go. That's why Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is breathing new life into public education with initiatives that support our children from their first baby steps to promising career paths. Like expanding in-home family services, early childhood and pre-K, so thousands more kids will go off to school healthy and ready to learn. And attracting new teachers by raising salaries to the highest in the Southwest. It's already paying off by recruiting hundreds of new teachers to our classrooms this year. And she is cutting teacher paperwork and administrative burdens by 41%, so they have more time to teach our children. Thanks to the governor's new Opportunity Scholarships, any New Mexican can now attend a state college for free to earn a certificate or degree in a wide range of high-demand fields. After 2 tough years, we're finally making progress in education. We can't afford to go back to the failed policies of the past.
Paid for by New Mexicans for Michelle.
Approved by Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
I'm State Representative Greg Nybert. New Mexico ranks 50th in child well-being, and this statistic is not acceptable. Too often we see in the news where a child taken into state custody is returned to an abusive situation only to suffer more abuse, sometimes resulting in death. Chaves County is not immune. Chaves County CASA and its staff and volunteers understand the system and where things go wrong. I have met with CASA to understand how we need to create a better system of caring for abused and neglected children and to break the cycle of abuse. I listen to local experts and then engage the state agency at the highest levels. I will support legislation to bring about positive change. I ask for you to vote for me, Greg Nybert, to allow me to continue to be your effective conservative voice in Santa Fe. Voting begins on October 11th and Election Day is November 8th. Please vote Greg Nybert for State Representative District 59.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative, Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
Are you tired of your tired old furniture? Well, why are you keeping it? Glenn's Furniture has filled their store with a special purchase of beautiful, high-quality furniture at factory prices. Stylish reclining sofas and love seats, smart and practical dinettes and dining tables, sumptuous bedroom furniture, and Serta mattress sets, all specially priced and ready for immediate free delivery. Get the lowest prices of the year. Hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, saving you money on quality furniture since 1953.
The Goddard Rockets are soaring through the season, and coming up this Friday night, your Rockets are back on the road, taking on the Eagles of Belen High. Fiera 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com will have every second of the action. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Eagles of Belen High. Friday beginning at 6:45 on Fiera 106.1 FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the American Legion Post 61 family, we have Commander Lee and Auxiliary President Jen back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's life in y'all's world this morning?
In a word, busy.
Busy. Yeah, it is a busy time of the year. I mean,
it is.
I know just as a post, been busy and going to be busy. You got Fair Week next week, and so
that's going to be intense.
So when they're not at the farmers market or doing a ceremony or doing something or at a something like that, then this week we're gonna be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair all week long. We'll have the American Legion booth out in the commercial building, and so that's probably the big project.
That's going to be huge, yeah.
But then there's Halloween right around the corner after that. There's Veterans Day.
A couple posters.
Yep. It literally is, out of the frying pan and into the fire as far as busyness right now.
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, but besides that, we're also heavily focused on wreaths across America right now. We need to get donations for this, $15 per wreath.
Okay. Explain to people that are not familiar with wreaths across America what the concept is.
Well, in December, we try to put a wreath on every veteran's grave possible. And we do this through donations.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it directly from our website, or you can call me, or even visit us at the fair or farmer's market or whatever. But $15 gets a wreath on a veteran.
Okay.
And that's what our big push is right now. We've only had about 5 or 6 sponsorships to date.
Well, and folks, if you haven't been out to our cemeteries recently, we have a lot of veterans that call both cemeteries. It doesn't matter which one you go to. They both have a lot of veterans that call that place home. So it would be very nice if every single veteran's grave in this community had a wreath on it.
That would be nice. We got
during
about
the December holiday season.
We have about 300 at Memory Lawn, and I don't know how many.
Well over 3,000.
I will say it's about
South
10 times that number over in South Park.
Yeah.
So we really need a lot of wreaths, folks. Seriously.
Last year was our high year, and we had 135 wreaths. We're hoping to break that record again this year, but we need your guys' help to do it.
Absolutely, and it's $15, and of course on the day of we can probably use some bodies to help us distribute and place, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's get to let's get to raising the money. So at some point, we got enough to maybe buy. It'd be great if we got like 1,000 wreaths.
That'd be so exciting.
That'd be cool if we could do that. But
I'd hate to have that problem.
Yeah, that would be a good problem.
That'd be a rough problem.
Yeah. So please reach out. We'll tell you by the time we're done talking here, you'll know how to contact us to get involved in all that, because we'll kind of, because otherwise we'll be telling you every single minute here with all the other stuff we got going on.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's a great thing to support and help out and show our appreciation, because and to be honest, obviously the veterans no longer with us, but it's more for the families, the people that
definitely.
It's not
to show
just,
that appreciation.
Right. It's not just decorating the graves. I know a lot of folks can get that wrong impression, but it's not just the placing of the wreath. You say the veteran's name and acknowledge their sacrifice and their service.
Yes.
And it brings awareness to our veterans and all that they do for us.
One thing two words you hear quite often in military and circles and things like that: never forget. And we don't take that lightly. And this is part of that. We don't forget the people that made sacrifices for us, and we will continue to do it. I don't care if they did it in 1776 or 1992. Doesn't matter when that happened. It's they sacrificed, and we will honor them, and that's the point of this.
Right.
So that's the when we talk about tradition and why in history and why things are important, this is at the fabric of that. So that's why we do it.
And another nice thing about the Wreaths Across America program is that it's not just placing wreaths on the graves in December. It's a year-round project where they work with the youth and the communities and educate them and promote all of the things that not only are important as American citizens, but some of the foundations of the American Legion as well. It's why these two groups go so well together.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's they share a lot of common ground, a lot of common goals, common interests. And,
Yes.
and so we support that. So we would hope you can help us support them by supporting us by doing this. So if you reach out and donate $15 or $30 or $100,000, whatever you wanted.
Yeah, we'd be happy to take that.
I'd hate to have that problem.
Yeah. It's like, what do we do with all this? I'm sure we'll find a good use for it.
And trust me, we're very appreciative of that because we thank you for the memory of these people that we're trying to help preserve.
Yep.
So
it is our honor.
So we just got back from Milwaukee.
Yes, National Convention.
National Convention. That was fun.
And aside from elections and all that happy stuff, we
isn't that where Laverne and Shirley, Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Didn't see them
yeah,
while
I
you're
think
there,
so.
did you?
No.
Well, Penny Marshall is gone.
Yes, she's no longer with. Is Shirley still with us?
I think so.
I thought I remember her passing too, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I hope
I
don't know.
Anyway, one of the big programs that came out this year is Be the One.
Yes.
That's kind of like the primary focus. Post 61 has taken up Be the One. It kind of is a combination of suicide awareness, prevention, and buddy checks and
Gotcha.
such. So
it's all streaming in the mental health side.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. You know, and just remember 988-1 if you need to get, mental health for yourself or somebody else. That's been set up. But be the one to reach out to veterans and really anybody for that matter. All you got to do is listen to these people. I mean, half the time all they want to do is vent and get it off their chest,
Sure.
and whatever, and then usually they feel better. And some veterans are too proud to admit
Absolutely.
they have problems and stuff. So a lot of times just a fellow veteran, just have an ear for, 10 minutes, could probably save a life.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that the impact that can have. I mean, not everybody wants to talk about their problems, but a lot of times if you know somebody who's chewed the same dirt, even if you don't even know who they are,
it's a connection. It's a understanding.
connection because when I meet a veteran and I just kind of know, aside from the stolen valor and stuff that you run into sometimes, but usually when you talk to somebody for just a couple of minutes, you can tell whether or not they're on the level.
Yeah.
And then if they have certain issues, you can usually place where they're from or where they came from or where they served. And a lot of times we can funnel that into getting them either mental health or veteran help in general.
Putting in
or
touch with
medical.
someone's got their six.
Just talk to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But remember, be the one, and this is going to be our primary focus now going forward. We just, last weekend, we did a Gold Star Mother ceremony at First United Methodist Church. We reviewed approximately 39 families that were from Roswell, all the way going back to World War I, all the way up to the present time, and we did a nice little ceremony for them last Sunday.
That's it. And again, this is why, because of the remembrance and doing it and keeping that memory and spirit and tradition and all the importance of that going. That's
absolutely. And we should be at Farmers Market this Saturday.
Okay.
Last Saturday we weren't there. We had district meetings, and the patriarch of the family that owned the memory lawn, or that does own the memory lawn cemetery. We put a cenotaph out there last Saturday. That's why we weren't at Farmers Market last weekend.
But back this Saturday.
But we should be back this Saturday, and we got a yard sale coming up. Jan, you want to tell them about the yard sale?
Sure. October 15th is going to be our yard sale. It's a group effort. We're going to bring all of the stuff that we can no longer use, and hopefully the community can get some good use out of it. And we're using it as a fundraiser.
Okay.
And anything that is not sold at the yard sale, we will either donate or have to haul off to
Find someone that can use it for their home or whatever, organization.
Yep.
Where's it located and what's the times?
So we're going to be doing it on October 15th at the First United Methodist Church in their parking lot. And we're actually going to run an ad in the local newspaper here.
Okay.
So all of the details will be in there as well.
Gotcha.
I believe the time is from 8 until everybody gets tired and wants to go home.
and so it'll be our stuff, but then obviously the church there. So if you're coming to find a fine selection of things, it's probably going to be pretty big. So
yeah, that would be my guess.
If you're looking to find deals and find some stuff, you're probably going to have a lot of stuff to look for. So for all you yard sale, I know there's the people that got the lists and it's like, what are you doing Saturday? Yard sailing. And
right?
They hit the paper and they make their map and they plot their thing. Well, you put the First United Methodist Church on that list. Maybe make that a twofer where you come early and then come back later to say, well, what's still left? Maybe I can grab something else.
Exactly. Yes. And you'll find good deals and all kinds of things like that, but you're also supporting all of our programs by purchasing things from us.
Scouting, because we do we do support and sponsor a Cub Scout pack.
And I would imagine a few of the scouts will be out there helping us, run the booths.
And as you mentioned, all next week we're going to be at the commercial building for Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Just ballpark, are we around the same spot as last year, or do we know yet where they
I
parked
don't know
us?
yet.
Okay.
I went to try to pick up my paperwork, but they apparently have had trouble with people copying the passes and stuff, so they're not going to release it until Saturday.
Yeah, they are kind of protective of those because of
I have no problem with it,
forgeries
but
and
I'm thinking we're going to be at the north section there. I've specifically requested not to be near the stage because
it's hard to talk to folks.
It is loud there, yeah. I mean, it's entertaining because you get the show every couple hours, but yeah, if you're trying to do work in there, it is a little loud.
I said we should have some drawings along the way. I know right now we're drawing for a Sig Sauer 9mm.
Yes, it's a beautiful firearm.
Clips.
Yeah,
yeah, we're selling them for $10 a ticket or 6 for $50. And as supplies last, we're only selling 200 tickets. And the drawing will be on Veterans Day, November 11th.
I know we had chit-chatted. I know Sean, I think Saturday, and they were thinking about, he was like, oh, maybe we can do it on the radio. So if it's not Veterans Day, it'll be that Friday right before if we don't do it.
Well,
but
the
right
drawing
around then,
is scheduled to occur on Veterans Day, November 11th.
November 11th.
Right, because we're going to be very busy
That's right, I figured
on
Saturday
for the
I
Veterans
forgot
Day
Saturday
parade.
is not Veterans Day.
No, that's Friday.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do it on the radio.
Yeah,
In fact,
I know we were talking with Sean the other day. I was like, yeah, let's do it on the radio. We can video it the whole night. So
absolutely. So
be
that'll
awesome.
be good. And of course, you have to be eligible to purchase a firearm in the state of New
you got to be
Mexico.
legally able to
You
carry
have
one.
to pass a background check, the whole 9 yards. But the way it works is basically on the day of, we go in, you fill out the paperwork, you pass the paperwork, we pay for the weapon right there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I saw photos and pictures, and it's a beautiful. It's a nice piece that I think people will be very proud of.
Yeah, it's the desert.
Yeah, I may have to get in on it.
Well, I already got 6 tickets.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right. There's a lot of fair next week to buy tickets at.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, but then we're going to get down now to the main focus of today is, Veterans Day.
Yes, which will be that Saturday.
Parade is on November 12th this year. We're going to start gathering around 8:30. You can park in Pioneer Plaza or behind the courthouse, and then we'll start funneling onto Main Street there. I'm still having battle with the city, but we'll get that straightened out pretty soon.
The logistics will all get worked out at some point or another.
About 9 o'clock, your own Mike Winters will be the master of ceremonies.
I will be the guy keeping things flowing. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully, I haven't got 100% buy-in yet, but hopefully our own Matt Miller will be performing with his bagpipe.
I hope so. He's a great bagpipe player, and And I don't care what you say. A man that can play bagpipes just sets his tone. It just does.
It's cool.
When you hear, Amazing Grace, that's kind of the official bagpipe song, isn't it?
Hey, I thought it was Thunderstruck. I don't know.
I've seen that. Have you seen that video with the guy? He's got like a fire one.
Yeah.
And it's a huge fire out the accordion. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I don't think Matt has that.
Scheduled is Tom Blake. I haven't reached out to him yet, but he always comes to these things, play a couple of songs.
He's a beautiful singer and artist.
He's like our local treasure.
Yeah.
And Sean Nicholson will be our keynote speaker.
Yes.
We're trying to identify a couple of parade marshals. We're hoping for either World War II or Korea. Get them up on the front.
That'd be great.
Crumlin's already talking about supplying a couple of vehicles for us.
Any World War II Korean vets want to volunteer?
Absolutely.
Love to hear from you. We'd love to put you on the spotlight here. And I know you're like, you don't need to put. No, it'd be fine. All you do is
you just sit in the car and wave.
Sit and let people appreciate your service.
We're still looking for sponsors.
Yep.
Right
still got
now,
time. Yeah.
I've got, and if you donate $500 or more, we'll help you with a radio spot. We get double our pleasure because we're nonprofit.
Yeah.
So that's our draw. If you want to donate $500 or up, then we'll take 20% of what you donate and throw it at an ad.
Nice.
So
good deal.
That could be $200 worth at a $500 level because the radio stations here in town are really gracious and they offer
and
double.
And as far as this is putting my marketing hat on for you folks out there. When local businesses particularly get involved in local events, the public likes that and generally will want to support businesses that support local things. And so this is why you see your Crumlins and your Deserts or Richlands and all these folks, sponsoring events. Yeah, they care about our community, but part of it is saying, look, these people spend a bunch of money with us. We're going to put some of that back in our community and show that this is our home too. And so when you do events like this, that advertising buck goes a lot more. It's more sincere, if that makes sense. It's like, because a lot of people are like, oh, they got burgers. Let's try the burger. But they're like, no. They're always. I see them at the Veterans Parade. I see when Walk for Hope's going, they're out there doing their thing, or when at this event they're doing that, and people notice that kind of stuff. So
they sure do.
So being a part of that, definitely, it's just to give you a fine example here. Another Gold Star thing here with the Calico Cow and Angel and all of that. She just has a sewing shop, that sits there and makes and sells and does sewing things and all that. But because she's like, no, this isn't just about sewing. It's about being a part of this community and, what she did during COVID and what she continues to do each day out there. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. People notice that, and that business is doing well, not because she spends $1 million on advertising, because she runs a good business, but she's also involved in the community and is helping and doing that. And that's why that you get more, pardon the pun, bang for your buck here by, sponsoring things like this.
Well, and speaking of sponsors, we've got Crumlin, of course.
Of course,
come in at a very high level. We've got Plateau Networks actually came forward. A couple years ago, we had that other one in town, but they haven't stepped forward yet. We have...
You mentioned Reineke, didn't you?
Well, Reineke didn't donate to the Veterans Day Parade.
Oh, they're always donating.
They're
some way,
doing
shape,
charity
or form.
birds.
Yeah, they.
Okay.
Yep, they made it.
Lagrone.
Yes.
Yeah, they sent me money, and then through the VFW, I understand, we're getting Johnny's Car Care. Is what I've been told.
Oh, glad to hear that.
So, and I'm
more
still
the merrier.
waiting on a couple others that are pretty big and pretty traditional ones that come through, but not so far.
Yeah, but we're hoping that folks will get their donations in by the 30th.
Okay.
Because we want to do a full month of advertising for them in October.
Sure.
Leading up to the parade.
So you got a couple days here to get into this information to us here.
But I want to do a shout out to Stacy Lemon and Destiny over at Roswell Honda. They called me up the other day and asked if they could do the poster for us, and
that's nice.
It is looking awesome.
Beautiful graphic artists doing their thing. It's gorgeous.
Good deal.
So right now we're trying to finalize the poster, get all the sponsors on there and stuff. But we had a little glitch. I signed up for one of those free QRC makers.
Okay.
And I just got a notice yesterday that says if I don't pay $200, they turn them off. So
yeah, but one of the nice things is that when we mentioned this to Stacy and Destiny, they said, you know what, we'll take care of that too.
No,
so,
that's
yeah,
cool.
they're really helping us out,
really
and I know they're.
Well, I know the Crumlin Auto Group veterans are near and dear to them, so
yeah,
it does not surprise me.
Yeah.
According to them, they're going to do a radio spot and some other advertising for us. So Crumlin really is
good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're
taking
gearing
the
up
bull by the horns.
at Honda. They usually do because they're getting into October and paint Honda pink and their breast cancer awareness stuff. That's one of their big events. So they're kind of gearing up for that right now too. So it's great for them to stop what they're doing there and help out with the Veterans Parade stuff. So, that's a good
But
thing.
like I say, $500 or more gets you some advertisement in RDR and on the radio stations here and Majestic. Plus, like I say, you'll be on the poster, and we'll start distributing that around town here real soon.
So even some of the smaller businesses, I know 500 can be kind of steep for those just starting out, but if you would like to donate, you're more than welcome to, and we will still add you to the poster.
Absolutely. Whatever you
so
can
you
afford
can still,
would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying if you don't want to donate less than $500.
Yeah. Every dime will go towards the parade and veterans affairs. And
veterans and children
issues.
here in Roswell.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, that's kind of because, and just for a reminder of kind of post 61 families pet projects, scouting with the Cub Scouts. That's one of our memory lawn cemetery is one of our other big adopted projects. So a lot of our money and resources goes to those two things, along with the stuff with scholarships to that we've got a great scholarship.
I do want to say something about memory lawn. If you have folks buried out there, please don't put concrete blocks or stack rocks and stuff around your loved one's grave. Let me tell you what happens is the rain comes in, and we get
it does happen there once in a while around
rain.
here.
Every now and again it happens, yeah.
We get it all in one day.
Since a lot of the graves out at Memory Lawn don't have vaults underneath of them,
there's sinking
a
issues.
lot of soft dirt and stuff on there. So when that gets wet, we can't run the heavy equipment out there to cut the grass. We have to wait until the dirt firms up to the point where we
Otherwise,
can drive. Actually, Ralph has actually sunk in before and you had to have the tractor pulled out.
Oh wow, we got that deep.
And I'm deadly serious.
Yeah.
But since there's a delay, the grass grows up higher than the concrete blocks, and we can't see them.
And then there goes your lawnmowers.
Whatever it is. But the last time when Ralph was out there, he hit something, and it destroyed the undercarriage of his riding lawnmower. It cost me almost $500 to fix it.
Right. And then, of course, that delayed us being able to mow longer. So,
about another 4 or 5
So keep
days.
everything below mower deck height if you can.
Please don't stack stuff by your loved one's graves.
Stick with the flowers and the taller things that stick out and stand out a little bit that we won't see, miss with the lawnmower.
Right.
That being said, also, we are running low on funds for gas.
Okay. Gas prices came down, but they ain't come down that much.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but we have a very limited pool. I mean, we've had lots of people donate, okay?
And
we've had people donate from out of state and all that stuff, but we're down to like $250 in that account.
Okay.
And that's like...
And by the way, you can donate directly for, if you're saying, hey, Post 61, here's $100, but I want it to go right from Memory Lawn.
Absolutely.
We'll be like, no problem. That's exactly what we'll do with it.
Right. All you do is if you want to send me a check, write in the memo line for Memory Lawn, for Cub Scouts, for if you want to specifically earmark it for one of our programs, Gold Star, White Star, Silver Star, whatever your passion is, If you want me to only apply that money to that, just write it in the memo line.
Yeah, and we will honor your wishes to a T.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Yep.
And one thing about Post 61, we don't really have a building. We don't have a bar. We don't have any of the traditional expenses other than insurance.
Some reason churches frown on us putting bars in there.
I know.
Strange, right?
It's really strange.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
so that being said, all of your money goes to programs.
Yes.
We don't keep any of it.
No.
I mean, we donate it to Child Welfare Foundation. We help kids locally.
Yeah. Or it goes to making charity bears to give to the police officers
Charity
to
bears.
give. It's
Every
single dime we get goes into some project or some scholarship
No
or
question
something
about it.
that it's not like we're going, all right, there's beer money. It's not none of that's going on. I assure you.
But I mean, Reineke is probably our lead donator when it comes to charity bears.
Yeah,
I mean,
they have a passion for those. They love those little bears.
They gave us. They've sponsored at least 50 bears.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's wonderful.
we got it. We've already delivered a bunch of them to the sheriff. I talked to Mike Harrington, I want to say about a week ago, and I asked him how the charity bears were going. He says, we're going through them all the time.
Okay.
So
does he need more?
He needs more.
Okay.
Which is good because
got
we
a
have
bunch.
more to give him.
We have more to give him. And
Well, I know we
told
want to
him.
kind of spread the love and give a little of the RPD and
We do, yes.
state police and all law enforcement.
We have enough on hand right now that we could do.
Good.
Well, we could probably do Chavez County and a little bit of RPD. I don't think we have enough for state yet.
Okay.
But we're
If you
still,
want to give us more money, we'll make enough.
Right, we're running
every Thursday we make these things.
and we're running low on stuffing. So if you got, if any,
and not stovetop, the kind you put in bears.
That's right.
Don't come up there
These
with
are not
stovetop going, here you
edible.
go.
These aren't edible.
no, not these bears.
And actually, they're very kid safe too,
Yes.
because they don't have really anything that can be
swallowed or choking
Swallowed.
Yeah,
hazards.
no.
It's all cloth and
Yep.
it's a stuffed bear.
Yep.
You can sleep. Use
No
use
buttons, none
they
of
can
that.
use as a pillow or cuddle with it or
Yeah, they're
whatever
very
they
cute.
need to. So, yeah.
So come see us at Farmers Market this weekend.
This
Come-
Saturday.
Come see us next week.
Have you
at
guys
Eastern
heard any
New Mexico
rumblings
State Fair.
on length of now we're getting into October. Now we're starting to get into borrowed time for farmers market.
Yeah, I'm not
Have
really
they
sure.
have they given any indicators on how many more weeks they're going to go out there? or
Usually it
anything?
goes kind of week by week. So
Yeah.
this weekend we'll probably know if we're going to come out next weekend
Okay.
or not. But it being the state fair, it may not do
It's going
that.
to be
week. I don't know.
difficult for us to do farmers market when we're at
The Eastern New Mexico
Eastern New
State
Mexico
Fair.
State Fair.
Yeah.
But we're going to try. But
Well, it'll be a
there's-
bigger problem for next Saturday, not this Saturday.
My
but next
understanding
Saturday.
is they're only going 1 week beyond that.
Okay.
My understanding is the 8th, and then I guess it would be the 15th is the week after that. I think that's the last day scheduled.
Okay.
For farmers.
Yeah, I was just
market.
thinking. I was like, oh man, we're getting into October.
Yeah.
Farmers
We're
market
about
should be
done.
wrapping up here.
But Post
how much longer are
61
they
was
gonna keep
we're
going?
definitely going to do this farmers market on Saturday,
Good.
and then we'll be at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and then that following weekend is the yard sale on the 15th.
At First United Methodist Church.
Right.
Yeah.
And that'll start about 8:00 in the morning and go until we either run out of things or everybody gets very tired and wants to go home.
And real quick, before Veterans Day, but after the yard sale
Yes.
is Halloween.
Indeed.
And of course, Post 61. Thanks to our creative evil geniuses that make these monsters.
Oh,
and
they
things
love
that they
Halloween.
Do.
We finished
I
one
say evil,
Halloween
not evil
event,
demons.
and then they start planning the next
It's
one.
not going to be a drive-through this year.
That's right. It's a get out your car and walk around through.
Yeah.
It's supposed
Yes.
to be a carnival.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I've already got word. I can't. No spoilers.
All right.
But Rodney's going to go out there and make one big tent.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
All right.
And then each tent's going to have.
Yeah, they're making a walk-through haunted house.
walk-through.
Okay.
But it's not going to be super scary, so you can't.
Right.
You
When I
can,
say evil geniuses, I'm being in jest here.
yeah. The planners of this program
Yeah.
typically dress up as Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
so.
they have fun with it.
Yeah,
but
it's
they
int-
get creative.
They do.
You see the inner child of some of our folks here coming
Yes.
out as they get their creative juices flowing and just have fun with it.
So
And
we've received word that there's another group in town that's going to do one that requires you sign waivers.
Yeah. So if you want a really scary one, that'll be the other group.
Yeah, it's like that one.
But I will tell you
Probably
that
power tools.
We are much more family oriented.
Yeah, ours is going to be fun.
Apparently the other one, they reach out and touch you and all kinds of stuff.
Well,
and you have
that's
to
fine
sign
if they warn
waivers.
people.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's going to be a good haunted house, but ours is for the younger.
I know Pastor Laird came to me and he says,
No,
tell me you're not doing anything like that.
No,
I'm
we're
like,
family friendly.
No way.
It's fun, and we're more about sweet.
Yes,
than scary.
We are.
We are.
Yeah,
we're more about treats instead of
Pumpkins,
tricks.
Ghosts, goblins, and ghouls.
Yes, and we will have games and things, and all of this is happening on the Saturday before Halloween,
the 29th.
The 29th.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's from 1 to 5, so it'll be an afternoon affair.
Yep. Right.
And so you can, if you've got a Halloween party that night, you won't miss that.
We're requesting a donation. So if you got $1 or some
whatever you
loose
can afford,
change, just throw it in the bucket.
And if you're broke and just want to come.
Yeah.
Money's not the thing.
No.
It's a community thing. We want to
Like I
celebrate
say,
and have fun.
It's a requested donation.
Give your chance for your family to come and celebrate.
We
want
to
to
provide a fun, safe place for the kids.
Place where you don't have to worry about, do they got a bright enough costume? Are they going to get hit in the street? None of that. We ain't worry about
No. I do tell you that we may have some photography going on. We may have some videoing going on. So just bear in mind, if your kid looks really good, they probably might get a feature.
You got a pretty sweet costume and everything else.
Photo ops.
Yeah, so come on. Yeah. Don your best.
Yes.
Maybe, who knows? We might get extra candy or something with
right?
really good prizes.
For sure.
That's
the other thing too is we need donations for candy and stuff like that. I've already got my.
We're competing against the sheriff's department on that one, and they got more manpower than we do on getting candy.
That reminds me, on a brief note for the Veterans Day Parade, I do believe that the sheriff's going to bring that massive vehicle. I guess he's going to have that down
big,
there.
It's got tires the size of, Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool vehicle.
We had hoped to get an Osprey come in, but they grounded them.
Did they?
So we can't get an Osprey.
Are they on a mechanical thing? Like
I don't know if they're going to survive this one, but they said that they're grounded.
Oh.
And
we're hoping it's just
right
temporary.
now, I think Larry is working on maybe getting a flyover.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
they cut defense budgets, things like Osprey.
Yeah, I have not heard what the status of that is, but we're hopeful.
All right.
And
maybe next year.
Larry informed me that we're going to have probably some car show people out
cool.
there.
Love cars.
And
this is up at the Wool Bowl.
Yeah, it'll be in the Wool Bowl parking lot.
That's the thing. Post the thing.
The parade.
I should tell you, we're going to have vendors. There's going to be food. I know that Robert McDonald was telling me they're going to get a bouncy house for the kids.
Okay. Yeah, we want people to hang out afterwards and come and meet. Like, we're hoping maybe some other nonprofits will want to come and set up a booth out there for information and things. And of course, like you said, we get the bouncy houses and the food and just make it a little picnic carnival hangout.
It will all kind of depend on the football schedule, but I understand that that's a playoff weekend. So
and Saturdays, Nimmy's usually in there, and it could depending November 11th. Yeah, that might
November
be
12th.
right. November. I'm just trying to think. That might be right around first or second round of the playoffs there. Too.
Right.
So that tells us that
sometimes those
we
are on
have
Saturdays.
to be out of there before noon.
Yeah, but those aren't always on. It just depends on who they play because if the team they got to play is like over 100 or 200 miles, then they've got to play on Saturday. But if it's under that, then they can decide Friday or Saturday night.
So really, I think realistically, we're looking at from maybe 10:30 to 12 or something like that.
Okay.
If there's a football game, we might go a little bit longer. If
maybe
there
we'll
isn't.
call us the pregame show.
There you go.
Right, there you go.
Come out and tailgate with us and have fun and celebrate veterans. Then get on in and root on Coyotes, Bulldogs, or not Bulldogs, Rockets, or
whomever is playing.
NMMI, the Colts or Broncos, whoever happens to be playing in there that day. So good deal.
Yep. So we'll do the ceremonies at 9 down at the courthouse lawn, and then we'll do the parade, say about 10 o'clock. And then when everybody gets up to the Wool Bowl, that's where the party continues.
Absolutely. So that'll be that Saturday,
Everybody
November.
bring your lawn chairs out. watch us along the route, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, please come and
let the veterans know you care.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
wave a flag.
Part 1 will be right there, kind of on the courthouse lawn in that area. So you want to get a spot to sit and watch the speeches and the things, and watch me screw up the emceeing, and then and then kind of conglomerate in the parade, and then we'll all come and finish up the party over at the Wilbo parking lot.
There is no charge to be in the parade. If you want to be in the parade, just show up.
Yep.
We start lining up around 8:30. I'll have probably most of my VFW guys out there. They volunteered to do the kind of the traffic control for the parade itself.
And the plans like last year, where we're not closing down the road. It'll be a drive-by kind of thing, right?
We are closing down between 4th and 5th.
Okay, but as far as Main Street goes,
Right.
no,
The sheriff's department has volunteered to take us up to the Woolball.
It's going to be what we call a procession.
And escorted.
It's an escorted.
Yeah,
thing,
like it.
Which is so cool anyway, you know?
It does kind of feel more important, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Feel a little presidential when you got a fleet of police cars going around you, taking you somewhere.
Any veterans, like if you may be listening in some of the convalescent homes and stuff around town, will be contacting you guys. If you want to participate in the parade, Southeast New Mexico Transport is going to be taking veterans.
And they
up
were
the streets.
last year. They were begging for veterans to come
Yes,
on that
they
day.
were.
So please reach out to them. They would love to have you be a part of their group in the parade.
Very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember doing MCs. Hey, any vets want to ride with these guys? Come on over.
Yep,
They were really wanting vets to come. So please, and that's an amazing organization, by the way. If
the
you
transport
can't,
group. Yes.
Even if you don't want to ride in the parade with them, support them financially or volunteer to be with. They are a great organization. That's a godsend to many, many veterans here in our community.
It is, yeah. It takes folks all the way up to Albuquerque and Artesia and all over the place for their medical appointments.
Yep, absolutely. So we're running a little short on time here. Is there anything we definitely missed that we want to cover?
We need to let them know how to get a hold of us.
Oh, yeah, that contact part I said, listen to the end to tell you about. Yeah.
RoswellLegion.org.
Yes.
It looks a little funny. There's 3 L's in the middle. RoswellLegion.org or 575-268-0220 is the phone number.
So if you got 3 L's, you did it right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
If you want to send an email generic to the post, just post at roswelllegion.org. If you want to send it to me because, you want to make sure that somebody with a name gets it, it's commander at roswelllegion.org.
Okay.
So either way, call me, email me, or go to the website.
Yeah.
Down on the website, about halfway down the first page, you see some pillars there.
Yes.
On the left-hand side, that's the donation button. That's PayPal.
And of course, if there's any veterans that are not a member of the Legion and want to be involved, you can learn all about what we do, our pillars, everything that we stand for, why we are what we are. And if you're thinking, I like that, then come join us.
Yeah.
So. Right. Yep.
Want to join? Call me.
Absolutely.
It's only $50 a year, less than $1 a week.
The veteran, the spouse of a veteran, the son of a veteran, all can be a part of our family.
Speaking of veterans, Cub Scouts. We offer subsidies for Cub Scouting. So if you join the Legion, the first year, every dollar that you give me for, joining either the Legion, the auxiliary, the junior auxiliary, the sons, the junior sons, every dollar spent goes towards
the
your
scouting
for the first year.
Good.
Plus, we pool all that money. And so at the end of the year, all the fundraising that we get, we're going to be hopefully selling popcorn and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Scouting has their own fundraising things too. Yeah.
Right.
No, that's what they are.
Yeah, popcorn for scouting, Boy
So
Scouts.
any monies that I get in, I throw into that account, and as long as your child participates in at least 2 distinct fundraising events,
they're good to go.
Only 1 hour each time. We will split that money up for each scout. So you can save a lot of money on scouts and be a member.
I remember as a kid selling that popcorn myself. By the way, y'all got it better nowadays because you got so many more varieties of things to sell. Back when I had it, they gave you a box with popcorn in it and said, here, sell it. Now you got caramel corns and candy and microwave kind.
Do I sense
and all.
a little jealousy here?
I'm just saying, technology got you all better. All we had was here's popcorn. What am I supposed to do with a box of popcorn? Pop it. They didn't understand. So now they get it.
Yes, we have lots of opportunities.
Yeah, it's so much better. So, again, don't forget, RoswellLegion.org is the website. You can learn everything about what we talked about here, including phone numbers and everything we'd mentioned if you didn't catch those earlier. And then one other thing, come out Thursday nights. Every Thursday night, First United Methodist Church. The auxiliaries out there every Thursday sewing and doing things, but the Legionnaires and the meetings will be that first Thursday of the month.
That reminds me. In October, because we're at Eastern New Mexico State Fair,
a week back, yeah,
we're going to be holding our regularly scheduled meeting on the second Thursday,
which is the 13th
in October, because we don't have enough personnel. We need more members.
Yes, we do.
How big's our booth out at the fair? Maybe we just meet there that night.
You know, that's
the size of your workbench right here.
Just elbows and just get elbow to elbow and get in there. We'll have a little meeting in there. It's like, oh, you want to register? By the way, hold on. We got to do our. We can't do that.
But anyway, any Thursday, you'll probably get somebody out there at the church after, well, specifically after 6.
Yeah.
We're sometimes there as early as 5 or 5:30, but 6 o'clock for sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, look for us out at the fair next week.
Yeah.
We're the ones in the pointy hats.
Pointy hats?
Well, they're pointy.
In the middle.
In the middle.
They're garrison caps.
I know, but how many people know that term?
Yeah, we're the ones in the hats and the blue vests.
Pointy hats, I think, are like Fez or Shriners.
I was thinking a witch's hat. It's almost Halloween.
Or a witch's hat.
Yeah.
It's
I always wear the
bladed hat, maybe?
Sorcerer hat, Well, it's a sling bait. I'm fixing to kill you.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It is 9:58. I got to play an ad or two before we go here. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Here at the Tailgate Nation, we try to make our service department as friendly and convenient as possible. But sometimes you're just too busy to bring your vehicle in for the service it needs. So your friends at Roswell Ford have come up with a revolutionary new idea, mobile service. Instead of you bringing your vehicle to us, we'll come to you. That's right, the Roswell Ford mobile service crew can take care of routine maintenance and light repairs at your home, office, place of business, or just about anywhere your vehicle is. We can change your oil and filter, rotate your tires, replace your battery, change your windshield wipers, do a complete multi-point inspection, and more. Right in your own driveway or parking lot. And these are Ford factory-trained technicians who'll bring the right equipment, tools, and parts to get the job done correctly without interrupting your busy day. So how cool is that? Mobile service. Kind of makes you wonder why nobody thought of it before. Call the Roswell Ford Service Department to make an appointment. Then just sit back and relax.
Hello, I'm Tara Mitcha, State Director for the National Rifle Association, letting you know that the NRA Political Victory Fund endorses State Representative Greg Nybert for re-election in House District 59. Greg has worked relentlessly to support our Second Amendment rights and to oppose legislation that restricts law-abiding gun owners. Progressive politicians in Santa Fe have an agenda that would erode our right to protect our families, our homes, and ourselves. Greg Nybert will vigorously oppose those who want to tread on our right to keep and bear arms and our precious liberty and freedom. He is a true friend of the Second Amendment and of our sporting heritage in New Mexico. Vote Greg Nybert, representative for House District 59.
I'm Greg Nybert, and I ask you to please vote for me for House District 59. Voting begins on October 11th, and Election Day is November 8th.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Representative. Richard Taylor, Treasurer.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today, 575-627